Hello, folks, and welcome to the Noclip podcast. The Noclip, it's a Crewcast. Maybe one day it'll be the Two-cast. That seems weird. We're not here to talk about that. Those are mysteries happening in the background here at Noclip. Maybe you've seen some of them. Maybe you've heard about some of them. But we're not going to lift the veil quite yet. Maybe we will for our patrons. Frank Howley, what is your favorite mystery of all the mysteries in the world? Which one do you find to be the most mysterious?
The creation of the universe, the extent of the universe. There is no beginning. There is no end. Does that mean that there is no creator? Who knows? Who knows?
Wow. Frank pissing off both religious people and astrophysicists, saying that there was no start or end to the universe. Love it. Jeremy, what's your favorite mystery?
There's this thing called the Voynich manuscript. We were actually talking about it in the Noclip Discord recently. So if you're not in the Noclip Discord, this is what you're missing out on. There was a rich guy who owned a manuscript that was like very difficult to date from back in the day, and it had a language that no one has ever seen and has no touchstones and a bunch of like technical
Welsh
diagrams. Yeah, it was Welsh. No one had ever heard of it until then.
No one knows.
So no one has ever translated it. It's an untranslated document with like technical drawings of plants and animals and all sorts of weird shit.
Whoa. Do they know when it's from?
I will look it up.
Doodle-a-doo,
I don't remember.
Get Fox Mulder on the case. Jesse Garasha, while Jeremy's trying to solve an unsolvable mystery, what's your favorite mystery? You got any Canadian mysteries?
Ooh, Canadian mysteries. That's a good one. There's a lot of. I'm trying to think of something that's not sad.
Oh yeah, good point. Nothing about babies buried, please.
Yeah, there's a lot of that. I want to know what happened to the bread bowl they had at Tim Hortons. Bring it back. It was delicious.
Wow.
You used to be able to go to Tim Hortons and get you a bowl made of bread
Full
that
of
they
coffee?
would put chili in. No, I wish it was
Oh,
coffee.
okay.
You get chili or soup, and it was great. And you could eat the bowl. It was the ultimate biodegradable food vessel. It was
What about
fantastic.
a bread
Bring it
mug
back.
full of coffee?
Settle down.
What about
okay?
a donut?
We're not getting
what
crazy.
about a
over
donut
here.
bowl? It's a bread bowl.
Okay,
made
see,
of
that's
donut
smart.
Full of coffee.
I feel like Krispy Kreme must have done that already, right?
I don't know.
A cup, yeah. It couldn't be very sticky is the only problem, because it would just be an absolute nightmare. Like a hot donut you're holding onto for an extended period of time. Putting it in your little cup holder in your car. It just sounds like an absolute nightmare. It's a way to like
disgusting.
ensure there's a yellow jacket nest in your car by the time next time you come out there.
Yeah. Also, you can't eat the donut because you just put it down. You have to put like, what's the point of the cup is to protect the beverage from the outside world. But if the cup is food, then you need a plate or cup for the drink. You know what I mean?
What's a food that we eat with our hands purely? Because like corn dog comes on a stick. What else?
Hamburger?
That's true.
You said that.
I mean, to me,
sorry. Go on.
I was gonna say, to me, pizza. I mean, there's Chicago pizza where
Yeah.
it does get deep and messy, but like traditional pizza, I feel like is very hands. Yeah.
French fry.
Yeah, why are we okay with that? Because the whole thing just got like burned. So we feel like all the germs got burned off of it. You know, they even give you like a little piece of paper when you get a churro. You know,
Yeah,
what I
that's
mean?
true.
Like, come on, man, what's going on? My favorite mystery. Well, I'll be driving to QuakeCon.
Whoa.
Later today. No, tomorrow. Quake Convention, to use its full legal name. I'm not driving the whole way. I'm driving to Vegas, so I will be, and then taking a very fast, cheap plane over the boring part, because there are so many flights between Dallas and Las Vegas, because nobody wants to have to drive that particular stretch of road, which is just unbelievably boring. But on the way to Vegas, I will be passing Area 51 once more, so I might have to check in on that.
No, you got to be careful. You cannot do that again in the same 12-month
You're
period.
on the list now.
That's a good point. That's
Yeah.
a good point. Yeah. Do you think that whole thing's a front? You know,
For what?
Just aliens live there. Like,
Oh, so it is real, but they're pretending that it's real so that we think it's fake?
oh, I like your idea more, that it's like a front for, it's just a meth lab maybe or something, or Or maybe that's where Bigfoot is. It's a real psych out. Or
They keep playing it up, but really, that's the last place they would look because it's the first place they would look. You know what I mean?
Well, you think he's going to be in the trees, exactly.
Exactly.
Jeremy, have you ever been up to that Bigfoot store up in? It's north of Mendo.
I don't.
It's on the way out of California on the coast. There's a real good. I mean, everyone thinks they have Bigfoot. I was in fucking Wyoming and they had Bigfoot things in the forest.
I used to
like everyone thinks they have Bigfoot.
I used to hang out with a guy who grew weed way up north in California, and one time he used to come down to the East Bay. He was friends with my roommate. He's a very sketchy character. He got a gun pulled on us.
You don't say.
A very sort of storied individual.
Oh, is he the guy that all that stuff happened with?
Yeah.
Right.
He ripped some people off, and then they came by. I don't know why you'd hang out with people you rip off, but they pulled a gun on us. But anyway, one time he and I were smoking a blunt, and he very seriously looked me in the eyes, and he's like,
"Oh, here we go.
You know, I've seen Bigfoot up there." And I was like, "Up where?" And he's like, "Up when I was like growing." He's like, "Weird shit happens up there, man. They got vortexes in the forest." And,
oh, I love it.
I was like, "Vortexes in the forest?" And he's like, "Yeah, you know, these there's creatures out there like Bigfoots, and they like take the vortexes in, and that's why people don't see them because they don't have to cross like populated areas because they're taking the vortices between unpopulated areas." And he was like, "I used to sleep with a gun because I saw a Bigfoot." And I was like, "Whoa, I think I gotta, maybe you finish this blunt. I'm gonna go." Because like you're scaring the shit out of me.
It's this guy. And then that guy went on to make Pacific Drive. Yeah. Really amazing.
I thought you were gonna say Pacific Rim and say it was Hugo Martin.
It was Hugo Martin.
Fuck Bigfoot, man.
So they take but why can't we see the vortexes there? Are they invisible? We just can't. They're imperceivable.
You
to
should
us,
have been
I
there
guess.
because these are the hard hitting questions. These are the Louis Theroux questions that needed to be asked.
Well, when we filmed all the Half-Life stuff in Sedona. That's a place that likes a vortex.
Yeah, that's what I thought of too. They love fucking vortices down there, man. That's their whole thing. It's like white ladies buying turquoise jewelry and getting your chakras aligned by the fucking vortex.
Absolutely. I wonder if you can get a vortex from Sedona to like Portland, like so,
the only two locations.
Americans are so cooked. You guys don't even you don't want trains. You just want imaginary vortices to move you between locations.
It's faster, dude.
I feel like the only thing that you can acceptable law, the only thing that makes myth acceptable or unacceptable is time. And that's the problem with all American myth is that it's all older than pubs in my hometown. Whereas when Irish people talk about banshees and leprechaun, it sounds so mystical, but it's just as stupid. We're like, oh, Bigfoot. Yeah, right. But then you're like, yeah, isn't it cool that there are pukas and leprechauns and banshees and stuff? And we celebrate da. Or Dia de las Muertes or whatever. And we're like, yeah, look at all these. This is how. And then we're like, Bigfoot, Nessie, you idiots. Get some real myth. Does Canada not have any then? Did you guys just have the decency to not create any modern myths or the lack of imagination, perhaps?
Probably the latter. We tend to just copy whatever America's doing and put a Canada at the end of it. We do have Bigfoot believers up here. I saw someone with I saw a Bigfoot sticker on their car, which to me seems impossible. I don't think he can come live up here. It's too cold. And they don't have any vortices from as far as I've seen. I've been in a couple forests. Yeah, exactly.
Fucking ice
customs
right now
keeps fucking throwing them out.
Yeah. How annoying is it that I keep asking you Canadian things?
That's okay. I'm the representative. It's fine.
That's fair.
Although if you ask some people, I don't look Canadian. I don't have to look. You know what I mean?
I've never been to Canada. Did I all look like you?
Roughly 50%.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Canada is so chill that I forgot I actually have been to Canada.
You have been. You've been to London, Ontario.
I went to London, Ontario.
That's right.
True.
The fakest London.
Yeah, it's up there. It's up there.
Yeah.
We did that already. We did that bit already a few weeks ago with the names. We haven't done though, that I forgot last week. Our Battle Pass holders. Amazing folks over at patreon.com/Noclip that fund the beautiful work that we do at Noclip. Those people, some of them have names. And here they are. Love Priest, Ute, Dwayne the Rock Lobster, Anthony Thomas, Nico Passateri, It's a Me Ferrario, Senator Armstrong, Reed Dredge, Harry Flanagan, Juice, Arno, Matt Pearson, James Brown, Get Up, Mark Rojas, Copernicus, Quote, Tucker Morgan, David McGarry, Goddison, Sven Huster, Pez, John Akers, Ewan Nate, Tim Robinson, who puts his name in upside down. which you can see in the credits. It's near the end of the credits on our videos. You want to check that out. It's the hot stuff. Patreon allows it. Forrest Pruitt, Jonathan Kremen, Eric Hamilton Schneider, Christoph Fatui, Cameron Laird, Zachary Snader, Alex Goucher, George Sakotis, Jacob Godserve, Enthea Jen, James Med, Tohir Tiliev, and Ryson. Thank you all so much, lads and ladies, and people of all description, for funding the silly nonsense that we produce over on patreon.com/noclip.
I thought you were saying that we got a new patron named Get Uppa, and that was not you doing a James Brown bit. I was like, wow, that was really convenient of them to sign up with that name.
I've let James Brown, I figure they get that enough in their life, but it's been a while since we did it. So
we've known each other long enough to make that joke, I feel like.
Exactly. We're cool. It's like I had two friends in my hometown growing up called Barry White. And that's just like, none of them were particularly sexual chocolate, but,
Damn, what a shame.
Yeah, it's a real shame. They were skinny Irish people, so, white people.
It does sound like
Irish people. That assumes whiteness.
Yeah.
I've just done a fucking white supremacy. I did it on first 10 minutes. I said, look, 10 minutes we'll get through this podcast without me doing it.
We had a whole meeting about it before. We were like, come on, man, like just 10 minutes. And then you're off the leash after that.
You fucking
to their credit, though, Barry White does sound like if you didn't have the cultural context, you would be like, that's like a white guy who works in like a call center. If his name is Barry White,
A little bit. Barry. It's a very like normie name.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it says a lot that he didn't like do a stage name or something. You know what I mean? Like, what's Prince's real name?
What do you mean?
Oh, it's a good point. Sorry. Yeah, good point. Sorry.
You mean the artist formerly known as? Yes.
Apologies.
You can't say the symbol. You never learned that one?
Wait, his real name is Prince? Prince Rogers Nelson.
Nelson, right? Yeah.
Oh, it is?
I didn't just pull it up.
Holy shit.
I knew that the whole time.
Was he born that, though, or did he do a...
usually on Wikipedia, it'll say, like, Prince Rogers Nelson, born, like, Alphonse White, born Terry, whatever Hulk Hogan was.
Exactly.
Rest in peace, I guess. Also,
Rest in peace.
Is Legend of Bigfoot the place you're talking about, the Bigfoot store?
It's like
it's a big
up near what's that town? What's the town in the northwest corner?
Oh no, we're talking about a different place. I was gonna say I searched Bigfoot store and it's the exact town where that guy grew weed. So I wonder if he just
saw Bigfoot.
He drove by the store so many times that he was like, man, maybe there are fucking Bigfoots out here. I don't know, dude.
So do you think that the guy who smokes weed and is paranoid because he's doing it illegally in a town that had a Bigfoot store might have accidentally... I don't know, Jeremy. You don't sound like... You might be out of Mystery Club. You're too your critical thinking is way too hot right now.
The truth is out there, and I gotta know if Bigfoot's out there,
Ask ChatGPT. I bet that thing's got some ideas about Bigfoot that are probably as accurate as the ones that humans come up with. Maybe
at least as accurate as that guy I was talking about. And that is not a compliment to ChatGPT.
The security guard at GameSpot used to be a Bigfoot hunter as well.
No shit, really? I remember him. He was a really nice guy.
Do you remember the guy, the chatty guy? Not the one that was subsequently fired for stealing, what did he steal? PlayStation 2 dev kits or something? I don't know.
Oh, man.
The short guy got fired. Did you know about that? I don't think you knew about that.
No, I didn't know that. Why was he stealing PS2 dev kits? Was he trying to get a job at Atlas in 2004?
Yeah, he was stealing. I forget what it was. It happened after I left. But the other guy was super nice. We won't dox these people, obviously. But he used to go on walks, and he never found Bigfoot. But he'd been on a bunch of these hikes. He'd go off to different parts of California and search for Bigfoot.
That's like a harmless hobby. I had a friend in high school whose mom was one of the nicest ladies I've ever met. And I went over their house one day, and she's a single parent raising 3 kids. She's a sweetheart. And we're sitting there, and she starts telling me about how she goes ghost hunting. And she was dead serious about it. She had gear. She had the fucking the EVP recording gear and shit. And she was just dead serious about it. And you know what? I was that's fucking awesome because I think that's cool.
Everyone needs a hobby.
Totally.
Yeah. And that's a cool hobby. Some people do if you believe in it, if you believe that there are ghosts and you can hunt them, why would you do anything else?
That's so true. That's a great point.
Imagine that. Imagine you could maybe communicate with somebody dead. Be I'm not going to the cinema. I'm not going to do some crochet. Fuck that. I'm going to speak to Edgar Allan Poe.
I bought a Ouija board when I was a kid because I was so intrigued by this possibility, like as a young child. And it sits in my bedroom closet of my childhood bedroom closet to this day because I was too scared to use it.
Oh, that's what. Did you ever use it?
It's never been opened.
Oh,
I wouldn't fuck with that.
No, why open the portal, dude? You don't. Could it be a Bigfoot situation?
Bigfoot could come through. Imagine you got Bigfoot came in, you'd be like, "Well, this is terrifying in a whole different way."
Do you have big feet? Oh my god, it's going to yes.
Frank, I feel like you're the most likely person here to have used a Ouija board. He's thinking about it.
No, I don't think I ever have.
You haven't think about it? Should we do it? Should we do it? Patron exclusive content.
I'm down, but not
Tabletop Simulator.
We're not doing it in
We'll
my
hop in.
house. That's my only rule.
Oh, come on.
Okay.
Dude, you're building a shack in the woods. If there's anywhere else to use a Ouija board,
That's
you
the
name it.
scariest place to fucking.
That's
Yeah.
the only
Yeah.
place you're supposed
Yeah.
to use it. What do you mean?
I don't want the vortex in my fucking 1-bedroom cabin.
Oh, I don't want Bigfoot to come visit, man. Just say you're a xenophobe and move on, all right? Jeez.
There are not many people that I'm prejudiced against, but big feats are one of them.
I always think about that. Like, if you did something like a spooky thing in your house, would it stay in the house forever kind of thing? But then I think but the earth is spinning and like flying around the sun. Like, do the ghosts also, like, does the magnetic field and the gravity, does that keep them in the same spot, or are they like stuck in like a
Danny, birds.
like a
So like once a year.
You think when they fly, they
So
just like careen off?
the earth rotates, but the ghosts stay in place. Okay, this is the question though. Do
You know what I
they
mean?
stay positionally with the earth as it moves around the sun, or do they
Exactly.
or is there like a ghost location where once a year you pass through them and you're like, oh, what's up, Jeffrey, and then you see them again next year?
But it's like so fat, like you never, like when you die, that's your point in space. But also the universe is expanding. So
Just so many fucking.
unless you're Frank, he doesn't believe that. So
Oh,
then,
right. Yeah.
so then they're just like stuck in the middle of fucking nowhere forever until like, a little, 2 millennia later, like Halley's Comet flies past them. Or
Well, maybe
something
it's
for a
like
second.
ghosts are attached to something in this corp. They need to be apologized to, or like they have to throw the locket into the ocean, right? Until that happens, they're attached to it magnetically, but not like real magnets, like a different.
All right, now
force.
I want to write like a Ray Bradbury, Isaac Asimov high concept sci-fi novel about a distant future where humanity is so flush with cash and resources that we're like, what do we do? What do we do with all this? But we discover that ghosts are real, A, and B, that this theory is true, and we
Okay.
launch a spaceship toward the origin point of the universe to make amends with all of the ghosts that Earth has left in its trail as the universe has expanded, to free them from hell, because we've discovered that hell is becoming a ghost and just hanging out in space and being left behind by the Earth.
Dude, you just made a really great indie game pitch. We should go back and delete that. That's a genius idea.
So that's like, because what it would look like is a sort of a spiraling, like line,
Like DNA.
right? So it would be like a crazy straw,
Yeah.
a DNA. DNA. What if DNA is ghosts?
DNA is just ghosts in space, brother. Did we all take like fucking a bunch of edibles before this
Don't
podcast?
we all this shit? It's just you two. But yes.
Frank, if you could go back in history and talk to if you could get a Ouija board and talk to anyone who's a ghost, who would it be?
My dad. Sorry.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
That's a
That's a
good
real
answer.
ass answer.
It's a good answer.
Danny's leaving the room.
Yeah.
Bye. Bye.
Oh man, you walked right into that one, man.
Sorry, Frank. Fuck. Sorry.
No, you're good.
What about
God damn
like Jesus? No, just kidding. Just joking. That is a fucking real answer.
Is that your dad?
My dad is Jesus.
Same
Is that
birthday.
what is that? I guess
Oh,
until I left the Catholic Church, he was.
can I volley something? I read.
You
Ask-
wait, are you changing your fucking answer? Because that's
Yeah. Jeremy and I read Ask Iwata. We never had the chance to talk about
Yeah.
it.
Oh, that's true, that's
I bought the
true.
book and everything, and I was like,
Yeah.
I was dying to talk about
Now
it.
I
you
thought
can
Frank was
ask
going to go.
Iwata.
Actually, scratch that. I want to talk to Hulk Hogan.
No,
Oh my
yeah,
god,
yeah.
no.
Yeah, I
Stop
would-
putting Frank under the bus like this, all right?
Talking to Iwata would be awesome. Reading that book, I got this like profound sadness that I would never be able to talk to him about games, because it was like, I don't know, he had this like incredibly pure view that just like making games would make people happy, and that this was like an ultimate, like a calling with as much purpose as like and becoming a doctor or like saving lives or getting on a spaceship to liberate ghosts from their mortal coil throughout space.
Immortal Coil.
Oh shit, dude! That's the
like a
name of
spiral.
the.
That's the name of the game.
Fucking hell.
Mortal Coil.
Yeah, Ask Iwata is a great book. Frank, did you finish it? Did you read it?
Yeah, the thing I really liked about it was like there was one thing he talked about like with the Wii, or the whole idea with the Wii is they wanted to like same thing back with the Famicom, the family computer. They wanted the computer in the living room that everyone could play. But with the Wii, this is such like a Mad Men marketing thing. Is they intentionally called, instead of it being called a controller, they call it the Wii remote because they wanted to reprogram everyone's brain. Like, oh, when you come home from work, you sit down, you turn on the TV with the remote. But he's like, wait, what if we get everyone to turn on the console with the remote instead? And he was like, that's going to be our machine. And his idea was like, if you turn on a Nintendo console, you're guaranteed to have a good time. We just need people to turn on the console. And like I was playing games on Saturday with that Nintendo mindset of like, don't worry about the game itself, just enjoy your time with the system. Ironically, I was playing PlayStation 5, but it was still just like, yeah, the way Iwata wrote about video games and everything is like, I mean, there's that famous saying where it was like, oh God, in my heart, I am a gamer.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh God, I forget what the whole thing is.
Yeah, it's like in my day job, I'm a executive.
Corporate president. Yeah.
But in my heart, yeah.
In my heart, I'm a gamer, but yeah, Jeremy was the one who originally who had mentioned it, and also there's so much information about like the creation of Earthbound.
Yes,
like there's the famous anecdote of like, oh yeah, we could either fix this game, it'll take us 2 years, or start from scratch and get it done in 6 months, and like it was just filled with interesting anecdotes like that.
I think the most beautiful thing about the Earthbound anecdote is that it shows how like egoless Iwata was about this stuff, that he came in and he was this like ridiculously talented programmer, and this project was kind of like drowning under its own weight. And he said what Frank just said, which is that it would take 2 years for him to fix the code base, or they could gut it if he got permission to start from scratch and build it in 6 months. But in the process of so doing, it wasn't like he was like, I'm the hero programmer, I'm going to come in and I'm just going to like let me solo it for 6 months, stand back, you guys already fucked up, let me fix this, let me fix your mess. Instead, he was like, the first thing he did was build a bunch of tools so that the people on the team could all participate in the rebuilding of Earthbound and have ownership over it. And like I don't know if that expedited the process, or if that made it slower or faster or whatever it was, but like I think just in the abstract, that's such a beautiful thing that even like rescuing all those people, he wanted them to sort of like be part of the scrapping of this project, or not scrapping, the like whatever the what's the word, salvaging of this project. Yeah. The other anecdote I really liked from it was talking about the origin of Smash Brothers and how Sakurai had this idea for it, and Iwata was like, yeah, I got like a lot on my plate, but tell you what, you come up with the design and I'll just like spend all my weekends programming it. And it was just like the two of them and a guy doing sound at first, like the first build of it.
No way.
And I can't remember the phrase he uses, Frank. Maybe it's stuck in your head, but he says like that's like a true indie game or something. Because it's like fucking Smash Brothers, and it's just like two dudes who are like, yeah, I had this idea. He's like, yeah, I could do it on the like weekend, I guess. It's fucking Smash Brothers. I don't know, it's crazy.
Could you give us some context for the format of the book? Because it's not like a memoir he wrote.
Yeah, it's a bunch of collected writings that he did over the years, and there's a bit where there's other people writing about their memories of him, Shigesato Itoi and Miyamoto. Yeah, it's basically, yeah, I don't know, Frank. It was like letters and a blog,
It was like a blog that he published on like Nintendo's corporate website. It really was a column like Ask Iwata, and he would answer.
It was called Iwata Asks.
Oh, that's
that's why they flipped it for the book. Yeah.
But it's a beautiful book. I highly recommend it. It's very readable. And yeah, and I mean, it starts at the beginning of him talking about like there were no home computers and he was making games on like a calculator for his friend at school to play, and talking about how like he probably never would have become a game developer if he didn't have a friend to like give his calculator to and show him these little games he was making, because the friend was like, that's sick. And then it was like this feedback mechanism. In fact, that's like the last thing I want to say about this book is the part that really like touched my soul, that will stay with me forever, is he talked about how like talent for doing something is not the ability to do it well. It's the ability to glean reward, a feeling of fulfillment from the doing of it. Because that will keep the process going. So it doesn't matter if you like make the best model ever, the best, like do the best gameplay programming ever. What matters is that from the process, you can derive a sense of inherent fulfillment, because then you will keep doing it and keep getting better. And it's a self-fulfilling, or like a self-fueling process that keeps rolling forever. I thought that was really cool, that like that's his model of talent, is like, can you enjoy a thing?
And then time takes care of the rest of it.
Yeah, exactly.
You get better. Very cool stuff. Ask Iwata. It's available where books are.
I got it at
available.
the library, so check your local library.
Oh,
system.
sick. Even better. I use the library app. If I don't know if there's an audiobook version of it as well, but in case you don't know, you can also use there's a pretty big audiobook library as well on there, using the app for the library, which is pretty cool. We have some video games to talk about as well this week. Dead Take, Ninja Gaiden Ragebound, Mashina, Heartworm, Dear Me, I Was, and we're also going to talk about all the Battlefield 6 stuff that dropped, and we got a few questions too. Let me get Dead Take done and dusted. It's a short game. This came out last week. It is from Surgent Studio, which is the studio that Bubakar Salim runs. We talked to Bubakar on Dear Dwyery last year after the launch of, why am I forgetting the name of the game?
Tales of Kenzera Zao.
Thank you. Tales of Kenzera Zao, the rogue-like platformer that they put out. This is very different. This is it stars about, like, Ben Starr's in this and a bunch of other reputable voice actor people.
Neil Newbin, right? From Baldur's Gate 3.
Right.
Yeah.
There's a couple of other cameos in here. Lana Pierce turns up at one stage.
cool.
Matt Mercer. There's a couple of like little bits and bobs here and there. What it is basically it's a first person puzzle game, which has some elements of cinema sort of inserted into it. When I saw the trailer, I think the trailer sort of like put me on the wrong expectation for it or something, because I saw it and I was like, oh, is this like an FMV game or something, or is it like super linear? I was worried it was super linear. I didn't realize that it was like a sort of like a house, like a Resident Evil style house that you spend a lot of time in. You're opening doors, you're solving puzzles, you're walking around in as much as you want. The puzzle, Resident Evil is linear in that the progression of the puzzles is in a particular order, but you are free to move around the place, and that made a difference to me because I enjoyed sort of wandering around in it. It's only about 3 hours or 4 hours long. I did it in under 3. I think it was 2:45 or something by the time I knocked it out. I did it in 2 sittings, but I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it quite a lot, actually. It's a puzzle game. I would say the puzzles are low friction. Some of them are quite easy. Some of the trickier ones aren't too hard. You can brute force some of them as well if you want. But I found them all interesting, and I think that was the most important thing. They are very much like unique. Each puzzle is a different type of puzzle. And you are, the things you get from them and the story that it unveils is really compelling and interesting. And it was one that I couldn't put down because I was like, I wanted to see the next part of it. There's a lot of, it all takes place sort of around, it's psychological horror sort of around it's like a parable for being an actor, basically, and like how executives and studios and everyone takes advantage of you and the sacrifice you have to put into it. And the story is all about a bunch of actors that are going for a part, and you're wandering around this house and you're finding like tapes and memory cards with audition tapes on them. And then there's a part in the game where you get to like splice together hilariously with like an AI piece of software called Splicer. You get to like merge clips together, and we'll look at them in like a little cinema room and stuff. And that's where a lot of the VO or the voice actor, well, I should just say actors, pop up on screen and sort of act out this story. But yeah, it like doesn't overstay its welcome. It was super. I liked the level design, and the world design was cool. The acting stuff was super good and interesting. And yeah, I was super into it.
Yeah, this seems cool. This seems like I feel like this is like in the, you know how Dark Souls came out and then everything became a Souls like. I feel like this is a Sam Barlow like.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's definitely has a lot of that video stuff, but like I said, the gameplay is closer to. It's like I think I said it was like if Immortality, Myst, and Resident Evil had a baby. It's kind of like a little weird open world puzzle game. With all of these interesting. I like the themes. I thought it was like a really interesting insight into like just how shitty being an actor is in lots of ways. I thought that was really cool. And it's only like $15. I think it's there's an introductory offer at the moment, which should still be open, 10% off. And it's from Pocket Fair Publishing as well. So this is Pal World's sort
Part
of
of the Pal World universe, yeah.
I guess.
Any pals pop up?
Yeah. No pals. A couple of jump scares in here for folks who are wondering sort of where this lies on the horror list. It's there's a couple of like sort of cheap jump scare, you know, like the face flashing on the screen type stuff. There's a couple of in-world ones which were pretty well earned. I don't want to spoil too much. And I just the puzzles were neat and interesting, and you know the ending is a bit kooky. But, you know, kind of had to go somewhere kooky, I think, when you're doing something like this. Yeah. Any questions about Dead Take? Or kind of.
I'm just glad to hear that it's pretty solid. Yeah, because like you, I saw the trailer and I was like, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what it was. I just got a different impression. I just got an impression that it was like a bit, you know, like the opening of Atomic Heart. Like the first 2 hours of that game is fairly on the rails. And I was like, I like games where I can move around a bit. And I think I just didn't realize that you could. You know, it's way more puzzle than it is video stuff.
Oh, that's good. Because the trailer made me think it was just going to be, here's my actor friends, here's the people I know that I work with that are cool, like put them on the screen, and then here's the gameplay. But the gameplay in the trailer was so limited, it didn't really make me think it was like an escape room style thing or like a Myst style puzzle solver. It was like, you put a key in a thing, and then eventually Ben Starr shows up. And I'm like, I also think he's good looking, but is there anything else I do? So the trailer didn't sell me on it either. So it's good to hear that it's a solid experience.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. I think I didn't realize just how it's definitely like, you know, 80-20 in the gameplay to you watching videos thing, maybe even a bit more. And I was also sort of pleasantly surprised, you know, as well. I got quite drunk with Ben Starr at Timur Hussein's wedding about a month ago. So I was like, don't be shit, because then I'll have to say it's shit. But it's not shit. It was a fun video game. And it was definitely worth the cost of admission. You know, $15 for, you know, It was like renting a horror movie. You know what I mean? It felt like a good time. Dead Take available on. Is it only on Steam? Is it? I don't know if it's on consoles. I should have maybe looked this up beforehand. Bad Danny.
You know, Pocket Pair. They don't have the money to do that. Port to console. Settle down.
Come on, they got Pal World.
Pal made like $1 billion, dude. That's not that much.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you just settle down? Yeah, I did your bit.
Spoon Man with Pal World.
Yeah, I did your bit.
That's pretty good.
You're welcome.
Pal World. I can't find links to it anywhere else. I'm going to assume it is only on Steam. If I'm wrong, apologies, everyone. But none of their stuff that I can see. Is it all linking to Steam? Steam, Epic Game Store. I think that's it. PC and Steam Deck for now, they said. Okay. It could work on Steam Deck, actually. Yeah, I didn't play it on Steam Deck, but I could see it working on Steam Deck. It's Dead Take. Jeremy, you got a couple here. Let's go through them. Which one do you want to do first?
I want to talk about Mashina.
Mashina
is a delightful game. It is the most delightful game I've played this year. This is a game from the same developers as a game called Jutaro, which is very high on my shame list in that I know it is an excellent game. Came out last year, I believe. Yes, September last year. I have not played Jutaro. I've heard nothing but praise for it, and for some reason, I just have not gotten around to it. So, but now I will.
Jutaro's one that people might know the look of. It's like how'd you describe it?
Like stop motion, kind of like, I don't know, like plasticky and clay-y looking with little like kind of action figure looking folks. It's a like a folklore action RPG in sort of like the old-timey Scotland setting.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, again, I haven't played it, but it looks awesome. I just have not gotten around to it. But I fucking love Mashina, and so now I'm all in. The Jutaro might be the next game I play after this. So Mashina is how do I even describe this game? it's a digging game. It's a game where you dig into the earth to mine out resources and find weird little friends and surprises and all sorts of things down there. But the sort of loop is that you're digging into the earth and exploring and doing all these things. And then once you fill up your inventory or do your objective, you go up to the surface and there's a little colony of cute little robots that you're helping out. You're like helping build a little colony, and they're just like the most charming little stop motion characters. They're so cute and tactile and weird, and like they just all kind of look like I don't know, it reminded me of like playing with action figures as a kid, in that they have this like, you know, very physical texture, the like physicality of them, and also sort of like some of them will be like a ball of plastic with like what looks like, you know, 3 paper clips twisted together as like a leg with like a boot on them. But it's like the people who make these models are so clearly talented at it, and their aesthetic is just this very like visceral, free, childlike, like joyous expression. That it's, you know, they don't look like the toys I had as kids, but they evoke the same feeling. But yeah, you just kind of like dig into the earth, and you have a little jetpack. You're a robot named Mashina, and you're just kind of like helping your friends and digging out minerals. And there's a few different things you do underground. There are like you can find like ore like chunks that you can build conveyor belts that bring the minerals back to your base. So there's a little bit of a very light automation if you want to participate in that. But mostly it's just like doing favors for your pals and upgrading your drill so you drill faster and can drill through harder stuff. And it's just very like, I saw a Steam review that called it therapeutic, and I feel like that's the best explanation for it. It's just calming and soothing. It's soothing to dig, and like, I don't know. I mean, I feel like this is a thing that's kind of underexplored in most digging games other than Minecraft, is that digging is like, it is expressive in a way where, like in Deep Rock Galactic or a game like that, digging is a utilitarian thing where it's like, oh, this on the other side of this is an alien egg we need to get. Let's dig through the wall. But in Minecraft, it's like you dig through a thing and then you leave that place, and when you come back to that place, you're like, oh yeah, remember when we like dug through here and made that tunnel? Machina is more like that, where every time you go back down into the earth, you're re-exploring these sort of tunnels that you've dug, this system of tunnels. And eventually you kind of like move on and make new sets of tunnels and stuff. But yeah, it's just this very sort of like soothing, wholesome, cute, life-affirming little game, and I think it's wonderful.
You guys are going to do an indie recommendation?
Yes.
Over on
We are,
Noclip, whatever it's called?
Do.
Excellent. Yes, I'm excited to see it. It looks very cool. And I also, for my shame, have not played Jutaro.
Oh, it's great. You guys are gonna, you'll really like it. I played it last year and it was just like phenomenal. Such a poetic video game. Like it's What was up?
How does it play? What's the like genre in it?
It's sort of like a action RPG angle. I don't know how to describe it. It's sort of like isometric, but the camera angle changes a lot. It's a combat focused game. Like I'd say 70% of it, and then for a little bit it's like puzzles and stuff. You have this ability where you can take over some of the enemies and use them to solve puzzles in the area. So it's a bit like Super Mario Odyssey, weirdly.
Right.
But it's fun. It's like the gameplay of it isn't too distracting in terms of like how much, well, you do have to do actually quite a bit of it the more I think, but it's not so involved that it takes over. Like you still are looking for these characters in their houses. Like the quests are a little silly and perhaps hard to parse, but like what you're doing in the world, the names, the characters, the designs of them are just so charming. It's hard to not feel attached to them. There's a group of enemies you fight called like the Men of Calibre or something like that. I don't remember what the exact name of the city was, but when they spawn, they just go Calibre, 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 and come towards you. There's like 8 of them, and so their voice lines overlap. It's very funny. The voice acting is very funny, and the writing is like, it has such a great juxtaposition between the sense of comedy you get fighting the Men of Calibre, or whatever it's called, and all the other enemies, and they're so random. And then you walk into a house and you talk to a character who's like, I haven't seen the ocean in like 30 years. I forget what the sound of the waves is like, but I can still smell the salt when I think about it. Like stuff like that. Like it's just so beautiful. I don't know if that's an exact line, but it's something like that. Like there's so many moments like that. It's a bizarre, enjoyable experience. It's pretty short too. It's like 2 or 3 hours.
Machina hits a similar tone. It's like it's kind of what makes me now want to play Jutaro is I feel like I comprehend the tone that these people are nailing, that people are connecting with so much. It's like it's so deeply sincere, but it's not the kind of sincere where it's like nonstop, like, let me pull at your heartstrings. Let me like, you ever seen a man die? And you're like, I mean, that's fucking real, but like, Jesus Christ, dude. It's like, there's one character who's asking you to find new radio stations. And the game has in-game radio stations that are so weird and funny. And you have to find the frequencies for them underground. So when you talk to her, there's this line. It was in the trailer too. It was one of the things that made me interested in this game, where she's just like, there's just radio waves like up in the air. Like, think about that. They're just like hanging up there. And it's like, it's just very weird. Like, it's like you have that really deep friend who smokes a ton of weed, but is like the smartest person you know. That's like the sense of humor of this game.
And then he starts talking about Bigfoot.
Exactly,
No, that guy's not the smartest guy I've ever met.
I sleep with a gun.
Yeah. You're gonna shoot the Bigfoot? Anyway, sorry, we don't have to go back to that.
Is there voice acting in
There
this
is
one,
voice acting,
Jeremy?
and it is fantastic.
That's crazy. This game is $16, by the way. We should, or like 18 without the discount.
Yeah, I think it's pretty
you should
short.
mention.
I feel I'm like 3 hours and change into it, and I feel like I'm coming up towards the end. I've just been kind of saving the last chunk of it for when I need like a soothing dig session. But yeah, no, I mean, it's well worth the money. It is. There's so much production packed into this, and the voice acting is fantastic. And it's like, when like voice acting sounds like you like. Some of it sounds like you got like your friends to do it, but they like fucking killed it. Like, it's so good, and it's like better than professional voice acting.
That's what it is here, or I assume anyway, because in Jutaro, it's a bunch of family members and friends, and one of the developers, I think, does a bunch of the characters. It reminds me of Danny Despelote, the family, the same sort of quality as that, where it's like, it doesn't, like Jeremy's totally right, like it doesn't feel as though they sat them down and said, here's what you're going to say. They kind of just sat down and said whatever. Obviously it's scripted, so it's a little different, but like they nail the feeling of that.
There's a character you come across who I won't spoil, because there's a million. Actually, can I describe one character?
Sure.
Because finding all these kooky characters is like part of the appeal of this game. I feel like I need to do this to properly explain the game. There are 2 characters you find in the first area. One is named Yum Yum and one is named Sushi. And eventually, because the conveyor belts up to this point are only to carry minerals, and you find the 2 of them, and then someone up top is like, it'd be great. What if you built a conveyor belt from Sushi to Yum Yum so that Sushi could send delicious treats over to Yum Yum? I bet he'd really like that. And then you're like, okay. So you build a conveyor belt from Sushi to Yum Yum, and then the conveyor belt just carries like little sushis to Yum Yum for the rest of the game. And it's like, and when you meet these characters, they have an intro cutscene. So you find Sushi, and Sushi's just like whipping up like bao buns and sushi, and there's like a really like uncanny, trippy, like stop motion full video of them, and then it says their name at the end, so it'll do the little video that'll be like Sushi, and it's like, it's so charming, man. I just fucking love it.
Holy shit! I love the frame rate. It's like 30 frames a second, maybe for the CG for the animation.
Probably less than that. I feel like stop motion is
stuff.
like only like a half dozen or like
maybe,
10,
yeah.
12
Yeah,
frames.
it's like 12 frames or something like that. If the regular animation is 24, it's usually every other frame.
Might be the camera movement or something is
On
higher.
twos.
It's
yeah,
weird.
it does. It definitely does not it does not feel like a low frame rate experience or whatever. But yeah, it's very. This is like a fucking, some real love went into this game, and you can. That's the thing, is like it's a pretty simple game, but I think that the thing that feels rewarding to me is, like, Danny, you evoke this metaphor, or this anecdote all the time of that interview where like finding art in games is like, in like point and click adventures and like more narrative games, the new art is the reward. In this game, it's like the gameplay is inherently fun and interesting, but I really just care about like meeting more dudes named like Yum Yum, and I'm like, oh, it's fucking Yum Yum, dude. I found Yum Yum.
That's awesome. Mashina. Do yourself a favor, go download the demo, folks. It's there's a demo right there, and also if you have played this game, you're thinking about playing it. At time of recording, it came out just late last week. But it's only got 45 reviews. So do yourself and them a favor and make sure. Review your games, folks. Don't forget to review your games. I was forgetting to review my games. I spent a day last week reviewing some games. Go review some games if you've played them, especially indie games. Big difference between, 45, you get that up to 100 or so, makes a big difference for people. So, as Jesse talked about in his most recent video too. Let's transition over to Frank. So, I did not talk about this because I didn't pay enough of it at time of recording for the embargo, so we're a little bit late on this one. I should have just given you the code, Frank, honestly. Ninja Gaiden Ragebound came out as well at the end of last week. This is the Game Kitchen developed Ninja Gaiden game. Side-scrolling action game. Frank, how much of this have you played and what do you make of it? Sorry, the Game Kitchen, I should mention, are the folks who made Blasphemous 1 and 2. I believe they are in Spain. Massive fan of both those games, of course. Yes, Frank, what's your take on Ninja Gaiden Ragebound?
Yeah, I've played about like 3 to 4 hours of it. I think I'm like 70% of the game. I'm on the last area of like Act 3, and then there's like Act 4, which is like all the final stuff. It's incredible. It's really, really good. So this is the thing I like about it is it's not like Metroidvania or search action. It is pretty linear. So it is, side-scrolling action platformer with phenomenal like pixel art, awesome music. The difficulty is pretty good in terms of like if you die, there's very favorable checkpoints. I feel like it never takes longer than a minute to kind of get back to where you were on your run, and then even boss fights might take like 4 or 5 attempts before you get all the patterns down, and then you have different like abilities you can equip, and I'm sure you could like slot out the perfect build for a certain enemy. There's also varying difficulties, so like every mission you do, if you press start, there's like 3 challenges. Like try to do this section without getting hit, or no deaths, or whatever. There's collectibles on each level, and on those with those collectibles you buy different like items. There's no like not like skill point progression. It is kind of skill based, but it's very satisfying to play through. And I equate the action of it. I mean, again, it's like an old school Ninja Gaiden game, but I never really played much of those. But even those had really slick like platforming and jumping and hack and slash. But to me, it feels kind of like playing like Mega Man X or even like Celeste or Super Meat Boy, just in terms of like when you get in that flow state of like running, like the game wants you to kind of run through them fast. Like you're hitting enemies. You're also like, it does the thing where you can like jump and then hit an enemy in air to kind of like bounce on top of them, and you can just do runs where you're kind of just killing everything on the screen, just going from it. Like there's this special ability where you'll kill an enemy that has like a pink like orb on it. If you kill that, then your next kill is 1 hit and you get that ability back. But if you get damage, you lose your streak. So if you have this kind of like, I don't know what you would call it, but you can kind of get this flow state where you're killing everything in 1 hit. But once that combo drops, then you kind of slow down a bit. But when it clicks, it's really, really good. And I feel like each stage is maybe like, I don't know, like 10 to 15 minutes long. So it's kind of that perfect era. It almost feels like golden age of like Xbox Live Arcade. It has the same like act, 1-1, 1-2, 1-3, whatever, like awesome map and everything. So it's I played it first at Summer Games Fest, and I sat down within like 5 minutes. I was like, oh, this is excellent. This is perfect. So
yeah, it does have to teach you a decent amount in terms of mechanics, I feel like, over the first like opening hour and a half at least. I think I played a little bit less than you. I think it's longer than you think, though. I don't think it's... How many hours have you played, did you say?
I think 3 to 4, but I'm also like not doing every collectible or challenge. I'm just kind of like beating the missions and
getting
moving
through
on.
them.
Yeah,
I think it's closer to 10 or something in total. I could be wrong, and I think there's maybe more acts than you think as well. I think so. Just to let people know, just in case, I'm not exactly sure how long it is, but I think it's in the 10-hour range for the story stuff. It maybe
Frank's
that's
just
not
really
true.
good. He's just going through it so
That
fast.
also might be the case. These are levels that you can kind of, but like you're supposed to, like the feeling of running through these levels is kind of the point of the game. Like it is very, they do great stuff with the framing of the levels. Like some of them are ones where it scans with you. Some are ones where you exit out left and you appear right. Like all that stuff is done really well. The production and presentation on this thing is super slick. Like the animation, the story stuff is cool. The boss fights are super tight. The look of the game is super. What's the other game that's coming out that's like another
Shinobi. Sega has one coming out like at the end of August. Pretty similar. Shinobi is Metroidvania, but and that's has more of like this is Ninja Gaiden's pixel art. Shinobi's look is like hand drawn illustration.
Yeah, the Shinobi one looks really
it looks
interesting.
like Crank. It looks like claymated or something. That's cool.
The Shinobi one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a Crank is actually a good shout. Yeah, totally. It's got like hard dark lines on around the outside. I think this Ninja Gaiden game, when I saw screenshots of it, I was like, oh, it looks great. It looks good, but like I think the Shinobi one maybe looks a bit better. This thing in motion is beautiful. It's like, you know what this reminds me of? It's like, because I also did not play the NES or SNES Ninja Gaiden games. I never played any of the 2D stuff at all. This reminds me of like, oh, this is what I wish Revenge of Shinobi was.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This is like a very like slick and fast. What are you laughing at? What did I say?
No, I'm laughing at me. I said crank. I meant shank.
Shank. That's
It
what
doesn't
it
look
was. I
anything
knew
like
what
the
you were
Jason
talking
Statham
about.
movie. Yeah, all right.
I was wondering what
Yeah,
the fuck you were talking about. I was like, I guess I just don't know.
Or
video
Mark
games.
of the Ninja, maybe more.
There you go. Actually,
more-
you're right.
yeah, that's probably
Mark
a closer
of the Ninja
comparison.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually the closer one. So it was right there, not the Jason Statham one. But yeah, this game is super fun. I really like. They do a lot of like really clever stuff with enemy types and the levels. Like that first treetop level you go in, where suddenly you're like, you're fighting in the treetops, and it really feels like you're fighting in the treetops as a ninja. Like it's super cool. Yeah. You guys have any questions about Ragebound?
Yeah, I played the demo for it, and I found it to be a little easy. I spent a lot of time doing the tutorial stuff, like you said, Danny. It takes a while to sort of explain everything, but I didn't find it particularly challenging. I think until about, I don't remember what her name was. It Kumori or something like that? Ku something? Yeah, the girl who I hate saying that, but the woman who shows up and gives you like a kunai, gives you that extra ability. Then I sort of felt like it ramped up. Frank, you're a little bit further. Does it feel like it gets more challenging as time goes on, or is it still kind of like?
I feel like by Act 3 is like you'll have these levels that were, and it's like it's almost Mega Man style. You can pick which level you want to go to first, and those feel like full on Mega Man X levels, where it's like it's a long run and then a really tough boss fight at the end. And when they introduced the female ninja character, like, there's these sections where you can like transform as her, and you have to do these timed platforming sections. And in order to like refill your meter, you have to like throw your get whatever the ninja star to refill your meter. And it takes a few tries, but it's like these little time trials to like make progression. So it's like you're just there's so much. It's just constant action. So that's why I like it. It's like, oh my god, and like. Also, it's like where it's testing your mechanics and everything, so you don't have time to think. You just have to do it and like react, and it's like, again, it keeps me engaged. That's like number one thing when I want to play a video game. It just keeps me engaged, and it's and like the music just
music was great.
Music's
so
great.
sick. Yeah.
Have you played on Steam Deck at all?
No, I've just been playing on PS5.
Yeah. Oh, I've been playing it on PC on the just PC monitor, and it looks great on that too. I bet it would be good on a Steam Deck. But the flow state, like you'll often be like jumping and then realize, oh, I have to do that jump thing to stay alive like twice, and then I have to hit this person, and it's like that thing where you nail it all and you weren't even thinking about it. Like I always forget the name of that first person speedrun game. Yeah, Neon White. It's a very Neon White kind of feel where you're like your decision making is like a quarter second behind your eyeballs, and it's you feel the satisfaction you feel when you do it. Yeah, for sure. Ninja Gaiden Ragebound is $25 normally. It is 10% off. I think it's probably going to have ended by the time this podcast is up. There is also a Game Kitchen bundle, which I cannot even look up because I own all the other games. But I own all 3 games. So yeah, I can't even look that up. But yes, if you haven't played Blasphemous 1 and 2, I highly recommend them. Ninja Gaiden Ragebound. Leave a review. It's got 815 at the moment. But I'm sure the Game Kitchen are under a crazy contract for that one. So, the better can do, the better for them. Jeremy, Jesse, let's bounce over to you. Sorry.
Sure.
This is, your new thing is you just bring games that are hard to Google.
Games that have ellipses in the title.
Yes. Anti-SEO titles. I love them. It's so good. This is Dear Me, I Was, ellipses. It's, oh boy. Okay, video games. I like playing them, especially when they're short. I don't know why that's been happening to me the last couple of weeks. I just keep playing stuff that's like an hour long, and it changes my life forever. This one, maybe a little less so. So at the start of the first, maybe, Arc System Works showcase, the company known for making Guilty Gear and like fighting games,
DBZ and
Dragon Ball Fighters. They open with
Blue,
right? Like they open with a wordless visual novel, but like that seems wrong because there's no words. developed by people who used to work at Sing or Seeing, however you say it, the company that made Hotel Dusk 215, Room 215,
okay.
and another code and stuff. The art director for this game, dear me, Taisuke Kanasaki. He was a director actually for both of those games, Hotel Dusk, Room 215. One of the best DS games ever made, in my opinion. It is a very
Hotel
cool
Dusk
visual novel
brilliant.
stuff. Yeah, awesome game. Well, the art director for this was that. And then the director for it was Maho Taguchi, who I think helped bring the Another Code games to America. So it's like this weird collaboration between like a fan of the series who helped bring it to life and then someone who worked on it, making this experience that, again, doesn't really fit with Arc System Works, who are also publishing it. And it's such a weird video game. This is like the least a video game has ever been. So it's 45 minutes long, maybe an hour. It's all done in that art style. If you've played Hotel Dusk Room 215, then you know what it looks like. It's like a rotoscoped, hand-drawn style. Like it's a very neat look. It's very immediately obvious. Like they hadn't even shown who was making it yet, and I knew who it was just from the look of the screenshots. You play as an unnamed woman who, because there's no words, so I don't know who anyone is, but you play as a woman, you play through basically her whole life. You grow up with her as a child, she meets a friend in school and like develops a relationship, and over time things sort of bounce around. It was a sort of story about grief and life and what it means to make mistakes, but also acknowledge them as not mistakes. Like it takes time for you to look back on those moments where you feel like you did the wrong thing and acknowledge that like that lets your life move forward in a different path. Like it's very beautiful in that way. But I make that point about it not being a game as much because like there's very little interaction. Like even in games like this where you know, a visual novel, you got to press a button to advance the text. It just plays the videos. Like there's some very small little interactions that you do, and they are impactful when they happen because of that. But
and what are they, like sort of gates where you have to make a decision, or
not even that? It's sort of just you have to click enough things to move forward. Like, okay, so the main ones that you get are the main character is an artist, and that's the connection she makes with her friend. And several moments throughout the game, you have to use and it's only on Switch. I don't think it's on anything else right now. You have to use the controller to sketch part of a sketch page of like some drawings, and then the story moves on. Or you have to
draw a penis.
Unfortunately, you have no control over the pencil. It just colors in the shades.
Wow.
I know, right? Worst game ever made. But then like other times you're just eating a plate of food, but you can eat them in whatever order. There's like 2 or 3 moments where you make a really impactful decision. But for the rest of the time, it just plays out.
Was the eating food an impactful decision?
I don't know. I don't think so. I mean, it never comes up again. So you ate your sandwich real quick. I don't know. You saved
Weird.
You ate your dessert first. You're a freak. I'm not going to be your friend anymore. Yeah. So
compartmentalize. What's wrong with
right,
you? Exactly.
You want everything separated. No, it's a very. I think the story of it is really good. It costs like $8. It's on Switch too. It reminded me of Past Lives, that movie from a couple of years ago by Celine Song, directed by Celine Song. Really good. And Look Back, Frank, you might know about that one, the Tatsuki Fujimoto manga. Yeah, really, really good. Especially that one because it's like a story about an artist and the grief that she goes through, and it's almost unsubtle. But this is like a very strange experience because it's just so straightforward. Like I don't bemoan it for not having more interactivity. It's just there's a lot of points in it. And I just played Anne Roger a couple weeks ago, or last week, which I thought did it much better. Where I was like, I wish I had not even more agency over the narrative. I just wish I had more involvement in it. Like it kind of just happens in front of you. And at moments I was asking myself, couldn't this have just been a movie, which is like the most gamer ass thing you could say? Like, why don't I get to shoot a gun? But there are times where I was like, I wish I had something I could be doing right now because I feel connected to these characters. I care about this story. I want to have some involvement. The moments where you get to make the narrative move forward are like, again, really good. Like they're impactful, but it's not necessarily a criticism. I guess it is. But like I liked it so much. I wanted it to be more, which is the nicest thing I can say about it. Yeah, it's like $8. It's barely an hour. And again, it's just really nice. I found myself not necessarily getting teared up, but like thinking about life in a deeper way. And that's the most I can ever ask of anything really. So yeah, I love it.
Wild. Arc System Works out there making the
yeah,
games.
right. What is that about? That's so strange. I'd love to know the story about this because I was looking into it, and Kanasaki does not talk much. I think he's on social media and he sort of like people are like, I love your game that no one played. And he's like, oh, thank you. Yeah, I thought it was the best game I've ever made. Sucks no one played it. And that's kind of it. Like, he doesn't really talk much about his process. So I'd love to know more about where this came from, why Arc System works, why they hired a bunch of people from Sing, or at least just Taisuke. Like, it's, very interesting situation there. Hopefully he gets to work on the Marvel fighting game. That'd be
that's the next step. What's it called? Marvel Tokon?
Yeah, Tokon Fighting Souls or something like that.
Tokon Fighting Souls. They're fun. I'm just looking on their list of games here. Like, they produced a bunch of stuff as well, or published rather, I should say. Sorry. They actually made, weirdly enough, they made last year's Uma Musume game. They made a game called Party Dash, which apparently wasn't particularly well. Like, co-developed with Psy Games. Obviously, Psy Games have made the one that's kicked off. But another code as well on Switch and stuff like that. They made a game called, there's a bunch of games I've never heard of. There's a game called Happy Birthdays. I think it was called Birthdays the Beginning.
Oh, hell yeah.
Origin story of birthdays?
I wish.
They went back.
It's like a life sim game or something. I don't know. Like for dinosaurs. It's very weird. Who knows? Maybe they do a lot of contract work or collaborations or something that some of the stuff doesn't make it over here. I don't know, but yeah, it doesn't. It's definitely outside their wheelhouse for what we're used to. That is Dear Me I Was. So do you recommend it?
Yeah, I mean, it's $8. It's less than an hour. It's on Switch too. So if you're looking for a new killer app, there you go. Weirdly, you can use and I bet this will be a problem with the console moving forward. I was thinking about it. You can use the mouse mode with the Joy-Con where you hold it like a mouse.
I've still never done that.
So this is the first game I've ever felt compelled to do it. Although Mario Paint is on there now. I don't know if it has mouse control support. It should, because that would be
Can
good.
you draw a penis?
Exactly. Well, of course. That's what the whole game's for.
It's the final boss.
That's what the P in paint stands for. It's penis. But like, you can use the mouse in Dear Me I Was, but it's really bad. Like, a thing that the Switch One had a problem with was bringing DS games to the console. They wanted to do it a lot. They did it with The World Ends With You. Like, but the translation of mouse or stylus input just did not work. Like, the Wii was the only platform that was ever going to work, and they just, like, the DS was out. Why would you play a DS game on your TV? You could just buy a Nintendo DS right now, please. So now they have them, and it's like, before it was the gyro controls were bad, but now they have the mouse, and it's really, on a system level, not much better. Like, it's okay on the menu, but again, why would you do it? Here, it's like, this is the one opportunity. I was expecting it to be a little bit better implemented, so I don't know. This does, at some point, the more I think about it, feel like almost a tech demo. Like, they're trying to make sure that they can make a game for the Switch 2. It's a really fantastic tech demo, but it does feel a bit like making sure they know how to make the kind of game they make on the platform. Not a knock, because again, they do great stuff with it. But like, if this is what it takes to get Hotel Dusk Room 216, I will do whatever it takes. I will buy this 40 times. You tell me. You send me an email. All right, podcast@noclip.video.
The gameplay in Hotel Dusk was like walking between the rooms, knocking on doors, selecting what you said to people, I guess. Stuff like that.
You'd have conversations and sort of like discover keywords, and then over time you could go back and be like, hey, what did you say? Your mom died? And the kid will be like, I don't know, and then run away, and then you have to be like, that was weird. That was like the weirdest, at that time for me anyway, the weirdest visual novel I'd ever played, because it was just so off the walls in terms of like what the DS was willing to do. It's a console being forced to do. Like, there's puzzles where you have to use all of the features of the DS, which is great. Like, some of that stuff that turned into a gimmick was like a reasonable game mechanic. It was a very interesting video game. Like, I'd love to see more of that.
Hot piece of hardware.
There is a sequel to Hotel Dusk Room 215. that didn't come out in North America.
What was it called?
216.
Last Window: The Secret of Cape West.
Right, yeah. I want to play that one. I didn't know about it until I was looking into a bunch of older visual novels, and that was one of them that came up, and I was like, oh my God, how have I never played this? And then I found out that there's a whole series of visual novels that Goichi Suda worked on with Human Entertainment like 30 years ago.
Really?
Yeah, I never heard. They never made their way to the West. There's a group of fan translators who are working on them right now to bring them to English. They're not done yet. Bring them to English. My favorite.
A lot of human games did not make it over. There's a whole series of Formula One games called Human Grand Prix, which is one of my favorite names of a video game ever. Was that not them?
I'm not sure. I don't think they made racing games, but maybe.
Well, maybe not.
Human Grand Prix is
maybe I'm getting my humans crossed.
That's Uma Musume is Human Grand Prix. because it's humans racing.
It is.
Yeah, it was Human Entertainment. Did
Oh, it was the
did
same
do
one?
this.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, but like this is back in like the late 90s, I think these were. The Human Grand Prix games were. Yeah. I mean, why else would you call it a game Human Grand Prix? That's
True.
just like, yeah, it came out in 92. Yeah, so it's like was F1 pole position over here?
Oh.
That's now it makes sense. Okay, sorry. I'm hijacking this thing.
It's all right. No, but yeah, it's cool. This is Dear Me I Was. Pick it up on whatever you want to buy it on. Switch 2, actually. It's your only option.
So you were talking about DS games, visual novels, things like that. And I was like, what happened to the Professor Layton games? Because they were like the hottest thing
They got a new one coming.
on those. So there was one, is there a new one coming? Because they released, when you look at the release timelines, between 2007 and 2023, there are 8 Professor Layton games.
Yeah.
There's one in 2017, which is 4 years later. And then there's not one until this year.
Yeah. New World of Steam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is a confusing title.
Yeah. Not on Steam.
Not on Steam. Only on Switch and Switch 2. It's coming out this year.
So far.
First one since 2017.
Yeah. It was a really popular series for a while there. And then I think they just made a couple
Yes.
of them that were like spin-offs that didn't get very well received and they sort of
they were-
shelved it.
I think they were pumping them out. I think that was the
yeah.
problem. Is that the
was the
first
Guitar Hero
one did
problem.
amazing. Yeah, that was prime me working in video games retail, and yeah, Hotel Dusk and Layton, and like there was so many of those games that were just like had these waves of people had played a bunch of the early DS stuff, and then were like, oh, I need to play this, I need to play that.
Yeah.
And those Layton games, we couldn't keep them in stock in some places I worked. It was nuts. So
No, they're amazing. Yeah.
yeah. Dear Me, I Was. Jeremy, we're going back to you. Heartworm is out. This is the game
Doctors, when they're working on a dog who is currently sick and he finishes the operation. Heartworm is out.
Heartworm
Sorry.
is out. Exactly. The Heartworm is out. We pulled it out. Dr. Vincent Adinolfi has pulled out the Heartworm. This is published by Dread XP. This, I feel like, is if you asked Midjourney to make a game that this crew of people would
Don't
like.
you fucking say that ever. That's the meanest thing you could ever
It
say
is.
about
Yeah.
a
Oh,
video
sorry.
game.
You're right. Actually, yeah. I've just called this game some AI schlock. I'm sorry, Vincent.
If you ask a talented group of people
There you go.
to
exactly.
make a game tailor made, yes, Heartworm.
This is like some Silent Hill ass Resident Evil PS1 looking fucking shit. Tell us about Heartworm. Jeremy.
Heartworm is so deeply homage driven in a way that I was actually saddened to see Vincent posting on social media yesterday that like I'm shocked to see people saying this game is like derivative because like it literally says when you open the title screen like copyright 1998. Like it's like the whole bit is that it's like a PS1 game. Vincent posted a video on social media as well of like digging through, had a physical copy of Heartworm made and was digging through like old PS1 games and was like, oh man, like Silent Hill, this game's awesome. Oh, what the fuck is this one? This one, I don't think this one was very good. And it was Heartworm. Like the whole bit is that this is supposed to be of that time. And it wears its influences on its sleeve throughout the entire game. So Heartworm is a PS1 era survival horror game, very inspired by Resident Evil. It has the door loading animations where the doors slowly open when you go through doors. A bit of Silent Hill in the DNA as well. A bit of Fatal Frame as well.
Fatal Frame.
Using-
Yeah, I just saw on the video. I was like, oh, you're shooting
You've got a
goats with
camera.
light bulbs here. Yeah.
A camera is the weapon and film is the ammo. So this is a sort of there's different camera modes, but the way I'm playing it is a retro ass semi-fixed camera survival horror game, where you are a young woman who hears about is fixated on the loss of someone they love and hears about a house on like internet forums that people talk about where there's a room in the house that if you go through this room that you are transported to that you can contact the dead, that you're transported to some realm where you can contact dead people. And so she goes,
Or Bigfoot.
Yeah. It's sort of it's part of the same Vortex network, but it doesn't connect with Bigfoot. And so she goes to investigate this sort of like haunted house and see what's up with this room that lets you talk to dead people. And it pulls her into this bizarre sort of Lynchian world of memory. And it's very, I have not completed it. I'm probably about between 2/3 and 3/4 through it. It is very sort of like theme driven. So I don't have like answers yet. I am very curious how concrete the answers to, like how much narrative there will be. By
How
the end.
Lynchian is this?
Yeah, exactly. Like at the end, am I going to be like, the fuck was that? And then like 2 years from now, I'm going to be like, oh, who knows? That's what happened with Mulholland Drive. So fingers crossed. But yeah, it's really, really good. I'm enjoying it a lot. The first sort of hour of the game is, it has more stuff, but it is almost beat for beat the demo that came out, like, I don't know, Jesse, it was like 2 years ago, wasn't it?
Something like that.
It was a long time ago.
They were showing off a
Right.
demo at PAX East as well, which I don't think was very different from the demo I had played.
Yeah.
So yeah, still very similar.
But if you did play that demo, sometimes I get turned off by games when it's like, oh no, the demo is just like the first hour of the game I have to do again. There is more packed in there. It's like, it is that, but there's more things sort of interspersed. So do not worry if you have played the demo. But yeah, it's a very sort of faithful survival horror game of that era. It's interesting. The atmosphere is, I sort of think, the thing that got me interested in this game, and it's the thing that has delivered the most. There are, sometimes you play a survival horror game and you're like, okay, like a haunted house, like I've seen those. Oh, like a cemetery. Whoa, fucking calm down, Vincent Price. But there are some like environments here that are like, I'll just say one is like a national park. And it's like, that's fucking cool. Like a fixed camera survival horror game in a weird, trippy, dreamlike national park. Like I have not seen that shit in my whole life. And yeah, I'm really enjoying it. I don't think it's particularly super long or anything. My playtime right now is about 3 hours, and I think I probably have like 2 hours at most left in the game. But that playtime also does not go advance when you're paused or whatever. So it's probably slightly more than that. And yeah, it's a very light touch narrative. I'll be curious. I really hope that it delivers on, like, I need a little concrete narrative to drop now that I'm getting into the last couple hours. Because so far it has been very like theme driven. They'll be like, oh, you're thinking about like death. Here's like this whole area like reflects the feeling of loss or the mood of loss, or like you see people experiencing loss. But you're also sort of experiencing the protagonist's like reflections in the same way that Silent Hill is a reflection of the person there. This world is reflecting back to you like memories and regrets and things about your life. So if it ends up just being kind of a mood piece, I won't be totally disappointed, but I do hope that there's a moment where the other foot drops, shoe drops, I don't know, whatever the fucking saying is.
And then gameplay wise, I'm assuming mixture of like combat, sort of ammunition scarcity and puzzles and stuff.
Yeah. It's basically, they're like these sort of static creatures walking around in the whole first zone. They're like people that look like TV static that are just haunting you, and you have to take pictures of them. And then eventually they get so tired from like a child in elementary school. They're exhausted from having their picture taken on picture day. They lay down on the ground and stop bothering you. But yeah, you take pictures of stuff, and it fucks off and lets you explore. And it's fun. Yeah, the one thing I will say about the combat is that it snaps from semi-fixed into like over the shoulder kind of. And I think that's good, because it would be very, very fucking hard to aim this camera in true like fixed camera angle, just like rotating like a fucking. You can turn on tank controls, by the way, but I did not.
Hey, how did that work, by the way? I don't remember, because there was when you fight the enemies in the area that are sort of like glitchy TV ghosts. Yeah. I get why you took a picture of those. I mean, I could fathom that. But I remember there was a spider you fought in a boss fight in one of the demos.
Yeah,
and I don't remember how the hell you took a picture of the spider to kill it. Is there a reason for that? Does that make sense?
Yeah, kind of. I think it's like this is just this isn't spoilers. This is pure interpretation. The whole world seems to be spun out of memories. Like in the intro, in the very first area, and if you've played the demo, this is in the first 20 minutes, so you've seen this. There is a sort of, the owner of the spooky house was someone who was like obsessed with preserving the memory of someone that they were going to lose in their life. And so there's videotapes and media everywhere, and like paintings commemorating this woman, and like the obsession with like preserving the memory of a person who they were going to lose. And I think that if I had to guess, I would say that taking pictures of things in this sort of like dream memory world is that like, I'm guessing the game is eventually going to be like hanging on to people who we lose is fighting a losing battle, because everything fades away or whatever. So I wonder if it's subtly being like trying so hard to preserve things is like harmful or something, that you're like, I don't know, not like the fucking cliche of, taking a picture steals your soul or whatever, but like kind of something like that.
Yeah, a bit like Luigi's Mansion then.
Yeah, for sure. It's basically Luigi's Mansion.
No, that's great.
Luigi's Hill, Resident Luigi.
Luigi.
Another game that's these $15 to $20 games, man. They're doing I love this shit. This is great stuff. This game's $15, 10% off until August 14th, so it should definitely still be up by the time you're watching this.
Yeah, if you're
checking this out.
you're a survival horror, like if you're not a survival horror person, if you don't like old Resident Evil, old Silent Hill, I don't know what this game. It may appeal to you on just like a random chance, but I would say that this is so hyper catered to people who like those types of games. But I'm really enjoying it for that reason, because that's my shit.
Excellent. Not particularly difficult?
It's there's an abundance of ammo, but I swear to God, I went through like the entire second biome and I could not find a health pack to save my life. I did the entire second biome on like danger health, and and it was very tense. There was a healing item that I had walked by, but I was just like, this is brutal. Like, Jesus. So yeah, it's definitely not easy. But yeah, it's sort of a good balance.
Excellent. There's a demo for this as well. You can check it out. I'm not sure if it saves your progress or anything, but it is available there. Heartworm on Steam. Quick little one I just want to stick in here. I played some of that Demonschool demo, which is pretty big. It's pretty decently
girthy demo, yeah.
Yeah, real girthy demo. Yeah, I'm into it. I'm not a big I like the combat stuff. I like that type of thing. You know that I don't tend to play like Persona-y games or games where there's lots of like chat going on between everyone. So I've been patiently going through that stuff. It's not usually what I touch, but yeah, it's like a full-throated game. Like there's a lot in there. There seems to be a lot of like stuff you can do, and it has that sort of weak timeline thing you can do, like WEEK timeline thing going on. But the combat's super interesting. Yeah, it's like, it's turn-based, but you like do all your turns and then engage it, and then it's cool because it's like all the action happens really fast, like your team is working together, which is the whole idea, is that you're setting stuff up for everyone else.
Yeah, Jeremy, what did you call that? You called the combat system in Demonschool something like turn-based football.
Yeah, it's
or
like
something
Final
like that?
Fantasy Tactics football.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, because there's
That's
like
a
an
good
end,
shout.
it's not, they don't call it an end zone. That would be a little on the nose, but there's a
Right.
zone at the end of the arena that you have to like push towards or something. So
Yeah.
it does have like
and stop them from going to as well on the other end.
it's brilliant. It doesn't, I feel like it does not, I don't think of sports when I'm playing it, but it captures like this sort of very like, it's a good setup for soccer and football are like that, because it's like we're going this way, they're going that way. It's like It's so fucking binary, and you could just like it's readable. You could bring a caveman to a football game and he'd be like, oh, okay, yeah, I see what's going on here.
Get it? Yeah. Four.
What is
downs,
that, the
right?
end
You guys
zone?
heard
You'd be
of
like, damn,
Geico?
you're fucking picking this up really fast, Grog.
That's dope. Loads of demos out there, folks, to enjoy. There will also be a beta for an upcoming, well, I was about to say DICE game, but it looks like it's coming from the folks at Battlefield Studios now.
Just like five different studios.
It is. Battlefield 6 had its official reveal last week after we recorded. Just on the weekend, they released a bunch of extra videos. So there is an open beta happening. It's not this weekend. I believe it is the next weekend, August 14th to 17th.
It is this weekend as well.
Oh, it is also this weekend. Great. Well, I know what all of QuakeCon's going to be doing. So there you go.
That's so fucking funny.
It's good time that they dropped that right there. So you're right. Weekend number 1 is August 9th to 10th, which is Saturday and Sunday. The next one after that is the 14th to the 16th, which is actually a Thursday to a Saturday. This is an open beta, apparently, so you can pre-download it already if you want to do so. And I'm assuming it is a couple of multiplayer maps. But obviously they showed off a bit more. Jeremy, what did you take of this? You're sort of, I'm a big Battlefield fan. Vietnam and 2 are my go-tos. Bad Company, big fan of those. 3, obviously, we put that video up. But you're a huge BF fan too. What did you make of this reveal?
I have mixed feelings. I mean, like my golden era of Battlefield is farther back than most people. I think a lot of people want the series to go back to 3 and 4 as their sort of peak era. For me, that was sort of like when I fell off. I played a little bit of both, but neither really captured me. Whereas Battlefield 2, I played in like a competitive league. Battlefield 1942 was like when my family upgraded our computer, and like I didn't have to sit on the loading screen listening to the dun 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 for like 20 minutes. So yeah, it was a formative FPS for me. I have reservations about. I watched, they did an event where they had like a bunch of streamers playing it, or like content creators playing it for an hour and a half or something, and I watched a lot of it, and I feel like it is Battlefield for a long time has been trying to beat the "we're not Call of Duty" allegations, and I feel like they keep leaning farther in the Call of Duty direction in a way that I do not think benefits them, because I think that they're like, it needs to be like frenetic, it needs to be like spectacle. It's not Call of Duty where it's like these small maps that are frenetic. It's like, it's big, it's spectacle, it's like massive, it's Levolution, it's vehicles it's a tank rolling down the street with your buddies and you're shooting it with an RPG. But I think that what they've kind of lost is Battlefield used to be like a very slow game. I think Battlefield games used to be like, all right, we're going to do a fucking Hail Mary. We're going to walk the entire length of the map and sneak up behind him, and it's going to take 15 minutes, and then you're going to die, and there's going to be like a 30-second respawn timer. And you've just like, you could have watched an episode of The X-Files and the amount of time it took you to just walk the length of the map and die. And watching this footage, it was, the spawn timers are so quick. The spawn points seem to be very close together. Again, these are things that are like, this is early days. Battlefield Labs, the whole idea was that they're like, we're going to gather data and sort of continue to massage this into the perfect game or whatever. So these things are subject to change. But the feeling I had was that this was so fast and so frenetic that it felt Call of Duty-y in a way that I think is undercutting what I like about Battlefield. And I heard some of these people who were participating in this event reflect on the same thing. A lot of them were surfaced to the front page of Twitch in like the week after this happened. So I saw a lot of people on the front page of Twitch who were quote unquote streaming Battlefield 6. And I was like, oh, do they have like early access? But it was just them. It was a lot of people who had never heard of watching their footage from the event. So I watched a few minutes here and there of a bunch of content creators that I was not familiar with. And I heard a lot of them echoing the same sentiment that that it felt like they couldn't get their feet under them because it was so frenetic that they would like spawn in and run into a room and there's like a people in there and you kill them and then they respawn and they're running into the room again. It's the same guy running in. And it was like, that was the feeling I had watching it. So I hope that maybe some of the other maybe they wanted to show it off in a really frenetic way because it makes for sort of like good trailer fodder. Like, if you're doing like an hour event and someone plays like 4 lives as a sniper where they're like crawling the length of the map in a prone position. I don't know if that makes for good footage or whatever. So this may have been a sort of optics marketing decision to do like a really frenetic setup. But yeah, I don't know. There's also Portal, which is hilariously their map maker Portal is coming back. And hilariously, it's in Godot this time. It's a Godot game engine wrapper.
Really?
Oh, crazy.
So when they're like, and now you could like make your own Battlefield maps again, and it just is like Godot in the corner. It's Godot game engine, which is, that's so weird. I mean, that's fucking huge for Godot.
Yeah, I hope they're giving them money. It's a free thing.
Is Godot open source? It is, right?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, you can get in there and fiddle around.
Yeah, I don't know.
But maybe if you're using it for commercial,
they should probably. I mean, one of the biggest game companies in the entire industry should probably donate a little bit of money.
There may be some thing going on that we will never know about.
Who knows? It is open source. So yeah, who knows? It's fucking it's MIT license, so you could just like. I mean that it is hilarious though. It's just like, Godot is what you associate it with, like, and it's a visual novel about you're like a librarian and it's like Battlefield 6 Godot. So that was funny.
I think I echo a lot of your like feelings on it. Like, so I'll talk about the speed in a second, but like my biggest fear with this stuff, especially when they announced it, was Battlefield Studios, right? We're throwing even more bodies on this than we have in recent years. And like what that communicates to me is like big companies like EA, right? The problem with them is that they have a fiduciary responsibility to their shareholders. Battlefield is the big IP that they have that could be a Call of Duty beater. So they are like, there is no world in which a corporation that size is not going to try and achieve that. And that is just fundamentally opposed to the Battlefield games that we grew up playing. Like, I was a big Battlefield Vietnam fan. I played the shit out of that game all the time. But that is also a game that, like, if I was to actually find out the amount of time I played it, and I played in a competitive amateur league in Vietnam as well, it's probably lower than I thought. And the thing about these games is they are designing them as games of live games. They are designing them as games that you cannot get away from, that you play every night, that when you press the button, you're into a game as fast as humanly possible, and that once you're in, you are getting progression, all this shit that did not exist. Like, there was no progression, obviously, in Battlefield 2. In Battlefield, there was achievements in Battlefield 3 and stuff like that, and I'm sure you could, maybe there was unlocks in 3, but like, we didn't play games like that, and we play games until we were done with them. But the problem is now, because these games are so mass market, and you're trying to, the metrics for success within, the global financial world is so much about how much sort of marketplace you own and how many retention and all this shit, that they're just fundamentally making these games more like the casino shit I was talking about a few weeks ago. And that's and so when I look at the gameplay, that's all I see. All I see is the time to kill in this shit is like the speed of it. I watched some of the Twitch streamers. I had the audio turned off because I just didn't want to listen to any of the propaganda. But I was watching it and I was going, like, this is so fast. Like, this is faster than Call of Duty. The tanks. Look how fast the tanks go. It's a fucking tank. And it's like my Jeep driving up a fucking hill. And you're like, oh, the whole pace of this game is ratcheted up. And to me, that is go, 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 unlock, go, 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 next map's loading, go, go, go. You know what I mean? It's the same reason why there was always this big pushback against the server browser thing. I need to do a video where we talk to like 4 network engineers in games about this. Because whenever it comes up on Reddit or anything, especially about Battlefield games, people go, would it really be so hard for them to build a server browser? I think the answer is fucking no.
Really?
It's not hard for them to do it. The reason why they don't do it is because they're trying to control the pace at which you play this game.
It's a
friction.
friction.
Is that they are trying to control the experience of you playing this game. They want you to feel powerful. They want you to be able to use the metrics that they're getting from this shit to put you into the next game. They don't want you playing on the community server with the same people because 5 of them might go asleep and then you decide you're done for the night. They want you playing in like a fucking hopper that they have control over. Like, that has to be it. Like, it's the only reason why it's so pervasive in live games that they don't give you that. Like, even Counter-Strike 2, it's the same problem, right? They get you into these loops, right? And to me, that's like a big part of it. And, I've one of the things that I found really interesting playing Mario Kart for the past week is that, like, whenever you finish a Grand Prix or a knockout or whatever, then you go back to the main menu. And I'm like, that is so different to every live game that is like, because Mario Kart's a competitive game, right? It's a match. We don't think about it that way, but it is a match that lasts a certain amount of time, and you either win or lose or get coins or unlock a new character or whatever it is at the end of it. But by God, they put you back onto the main menu because it's not a live service game where they're trying to keep you in that ecosystem. They've already spent the money on you, and Nintendo has a history of telling you to stop playing their games and go for a walk, right? So. And when I think about that with these games, I think, no, that's not what this is. This is they need you to play as much as possible, as long as possible, and that's why these games are designed that way. And I have nothing bad to say about the developers making this. Ultimately, that's the remit that they're given. The corporation needs that retention. The executive level who are doing it, the folks who are leading the creative thing, they have a responsibility to make this game sell and to do right by what the company wants. The people underneath that are making great maps, great looking guns, making it sound good, all this sort of stuff for God knows what reason, putting Limp Bizkit in the fucking trailer. And then, that's the game that gets made. But it's just like, we can't escape this form of mass media like this. And this is why I think games are in trouble, because I don't think people want this shit. Yeah. I think it works in the same way that people don't really want casinos or people don't really want tappy games on their phones, but it's a great way to spend some time, yada, yada, yada. It's getting away from the thing that makes our hearts lift about games into this more of a like just pervasive thing we spend time on in the attention economy. And I think
Hell yeah.
that's the problem. I think that's a big problem. And I think, as Jeremy says, it's a big problem for Battlefield because every time they do this, it probably in some ways meets the metrics of the company of what they've wanted to do. We all talk about these games as if they're not successful because to us, they're not critically successful. We look at Battlefield 3, a lot of people do, and say wasn't as good as 2, right? I like Battlefield 3. I'll totally admit that as well. I see that, right? Battlefield 4, similar thing. People don't feel that way. Battlefield 4 might have had way higher retention and gameplay times than 3 did. I don't know, but maybe just because. But every time they do it, it just like there's a cost, and we're less trusting. And if you never already see next time, just all the comments in all these videos are don't pre-order.
Yeah.
Don't pre-order, I'm optimistic. I hope it works out. I'm the same as Jeremy. Like maybe it plays well when you get into it, but I just can't get away from the idea when I play these games that ultimately what they are is an attempt to make a mass market Call of Duty killer and that they don't really respect my time.
Yeah.
All
There's a
right.
real sense of sweaty desperation in the sort of psychological dark patterning that you were describing. And it often feels to me like this game is trying to trap me rather than appeal to me on inherent like real levels for the reasons you said. Like it's just like a constant mill. It doesn't let you do the thing that I described another time, which is the anecdote I think it was from the Natasha Dow Schul book about like a slot machine. Just like you pull the slot, it's like go again. You already put in $500 a quarter, just pull the thing. Whereas like a chessboard is like, oh, I lost, like let's fucking go again, I'm gonna beat you this time. And then by the time you set up the pieces, you're like, actually maybe I don't really want to play chess. Maybe I was just mad that I lost.
All right. Yeah.
It gives you that Mario Kart boot back to the menu. And it's like, do you want to play? Let's leave it up to you if you want to play again, instead of being like, come on, man, have another fucking drink with us. Like it's only 5 in the morning.
But it's fun. It's good. You get back into it and you get to shoot again quickly. I will say, I'm not I agree with you guys. But when I was growing up, I got into games with server browsers probably too late to appreciate what's fun about them. Because like by that point, it was very insular. It was like you would join a server. It's like, what do you do? Who left the password off the server? And I got booted every time. And I have to go play in the official server anyway. So for me, it wasn't very different from playing a console first-person shooter because I just picked whatever the first one was anyway. Yeah. So I wonder if it's a little chicken and the egg situation there in that part of it. But I do agree that like is it a case of like, oh, people stopped giving a shit about server browsers and just picked whatever, so we stopped including them, or if they stopped including them because it was more beneficial? I would love to know in what direction it went, because you guys have more history with the series, like with that kind of thing.
Yeah, and just server browsers in general, because I think matchmaking became way better. So I think like server browsers, I think for some people are great, and I think for other people, like normies, right? When my brother boots up the Battlefield game, he wouldn't want a server browser to pop up, right? So they And if they're trying to make like a sort of a thoroughfare for you to play the game, like let's not have multiple thoroughfares.
You want to browse a menu you want to scroll through a list with a controller.
And sometimes there are some games where it completely makes sense. Like nobody's screaming out for a server browser in like Rocket League, right? It doesn't, but there's something about this. I don't know. There's like things that you miss. There's a feeling of, when you're looking at server browsing, and I do think like the problem is that if there is a server browser only, let's say, I do think then if you had 1,000 people play the game, they would all play less. I think that is just like the process of doing a server browser is like, to me, it's like going to like picking a bar in a town. When you go into a town, you're not quite sure which bar is going to be the best one to go to, but the process of exploring them is part of the fun. Like seeing what the vibe is here. It's so strange.
No, I agree. It's like you just default to Kelsey's. That's what Quick Match is.
Right. It's like if we all go to like the fucking, there's a chain in England. What are they called? Whatever pub chain. It's like, you're just going down to like the 7-Eleven of bars or whatever, right? It works and all the stuff you want is there. All the best maps are there. But you'd go to a server and, obviously in the old days, they'd have like all the crazy Unreal Tournament sounds in Counter-Strike or whatever. in Battlefield though, they'd have like, we're doing specific rules, or we're doing specific only these maps, or we're doing like, you know, and that stuff, it had its own culture in it. And then you got to favorite the ones you liked. And when you went online, you saw who was on, how many people are on, and then, you know, oh, none of my ones are good, so I'm going to go exploring some other stuff. And like this type of thing is just kind of has been in a way seeped out of all of the internet as we've sort of, you know, algorithms and stuff have sort of done all this work in the middle. But there was a joy in that work, I think. And like finding a weird server some night, you know what I mean? Or like, you know, finding a weird server and there's only 2 English speaking people on it, and you end up buddying up because like everyone else is Russian or whatever, you know. And I think people miss that. And specifically with Battlefield, I think people miss being able to customize game modes, being able to like be in control of like stuff like ticket, depletion or respawn timers, or, you know, things like that. And this Battlefield has some cool stuff in it. I like the hitching a ride on the tanks and stuff, the vehicles. They sort of solved that problem with the squads, I think. I think the classes they've built are interesting and cool. Like I like the sort of sniper class that they made in this one. Seems like it has some cool shit. The destructibility looks really good as well. But I think what happens is the super fans or the people who want to spend time in this game, they want that control. They want to be able to have a server and have their favorite maps and do their fun nights, do their fun community nights. Like we've lost all of this.
Yeah.
You know who still has that? Halo. Halo Infinite. Yes.
Really?
Has a server, has a custom game browser. I remember joining in when they added their own version of what's the game mode? It's like Infected. They finally put that back in, and I was like, yeah. I'm 14 again. Let's go, baby.
The bar metaphor I feel like works so well as well for server browsers, because back in the day playing Battlefield 2, it wasn't just like it's not just like, oh, you go into a place and they have custom rules, which is a huge part of it. Like I almost towards the end of my Battlefield 2 career, as it were, I basically only played 24/7 Karkand infantry only, and that was it.
Right,
and it's so specific. No vehicles, one map, like 32 player cap, like so fucking dialed into what I liked. But the other thing is that like when you have these servers, there's a sense of community, and even if you are not a member of that community, even if you are just a stranger who wanders into the bar, it is when you walk into that place, there are idiosyncratic sort of like the sound effects that are modded in, or like the sort of tone of the place. Those are specific things, but it extends beyond that to, I think that it actually changes how people play games. And this is a thing in like old Counter-Strike, especially, where it would just be like, it was about having a good time. And like ranked, I would love to do a video someday about how ranked matchmaking has changed the attitude, the culture around FPS. Yeah. Because if you hop into a game of Valorant, it's like a bunch of sweaty teenagers yelling racial slurs at you because they're like, I gotta fucking win, I gotta rank up. It's like this League of Legends feeling. Old Counter-Strike was like, oh, let's do it, like everyone fucking meet at the middle with knives, because it wasn't about like winning. It was about everyone having fun. Old like server browser driven games feel more like a pickup soccer league or something, where it's like there's another dude at the park and he's like, oh, we're man down, hey, do you want to play with us? And it's not like, oh, by the way, if you suck, we're all gonna be mad at you because we'll lose. It's like they just want to have fun.
Do you know what it feels like? Is that like the third space, the place where you're playing that game? Like today, it feels like you're playing it at like it's the company's place. Like this is owned by the company, and we'll it's like a football stadium. We can trash it. It's not ours. We can be sloppy. You know, it doesn't really matter. You almost feel like you're owed it, right? And also, when you play ranked, there is this feeling that you then should be doing better because you're with your peers. Whereas like I used to love going on one of these servers, and there were clearly people that were way better than me. And that's fine. Like you found your position in the culture of the server or of the game. Like I don't care that there's these legends who are like, if I had somebody on my team who was a really good chopper pilot who was blowing everyone to smithereens, or like an incredible support, like that's awesome. That's cool. But if you played on like a server that felt like it was a community server where people were playing, it was like you wandered into a bar and there were regulars. Like you behaved, and people behaved, and they were jovial. This might be a server that you want to come back to. So you're respectful and you play properly and you try hard. And I think it totally changes the psychology of it. Yeah, where you're maybe with the genie's out of the bottle in that respect. I don't know, but like I don't feel that way when I play a lot of FPS games. I feel like my time isn't being respected. That they're trying to get me on some Skinner box fucking thing to keep playing this game over and over again. And there is no culture in any of these places I'm playing these maps. You know what I mean? And for some games, that doesn't matter. Rocket League, it's 3v3 mostly. You get to know your teammates whether you like it or not in that game. They're short and sweet and they're over. It makes sense. But there's something about the complexity and tactics and communication of a game like Battlefield where like having community servers just makes so much more sense. Like what you know, war is terrible. We're all, you know, agreed on that one. Is that one of the most important aspects of like any media about war is like fellowship and like working together.
Yeah.
So like it makes complete sense why if you want to make a good game that's about war, that you should encourage that type of psychology in it and not the fucking meat grinder of Vietnam, which is, you know, we're kind of, or I shouldn't say that because obviously people felt brotherhood in that war a lot, obviously, but just the idea that like it's some like sci-fi war where you're just like, it's just about getting points.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not, I think you just lose a lot of that.
I feel like there is a direct parallel where when you talk about like sociology and criminal justice, you're like, if you live in a city of 250,000 people and you don't know your neighbors and nobody knows each other, criminality takes on a very different relationship because it's like, you know, if I rob my anonymous neighbor 3 doors down, like I don't fucking know that guy. And like, you know, everyone's doing like it's hyper individualistic. And I feel like when you're just spawned into these ranked matchmaking things where you'll never see these people again, it's the same thing because those aren't people to you. Those are just the people that are in this game and you'll never see them again. Like who the fuck cares if you're on your best behavior? But if you come into a community server and you like the vibe and it's cool there and you want to play there again, then it's like, well, fucking behave yourself, or like if you act like a shitlord, you're gonna get banned in 3 seconds, and you cannot play on this cool server where cool people hang out. And so it really changes the way that people relate to each other. And like I still remember, I joke with my friend who I played Battlefield with as teenagers, and like we still remember the names of people. Like we joke with each other and we're like, hey, I wonder what like this specific guy's name is up to now. And it's been like 20 years. Like why the fuck do I remember that? You know what I mean? It's just like, and it's because I played with those people night after night after night, and they'd be like, hey, what's up, man? Like I still remember like phrases they would say. I still remember like personality traits that those people had because they were, like you said, they were regulars in the bar. They weren't like friends of mine who I hung out with in real life, but they were people who were, you know, part of the ambient atmosphere of what it was like to play Battlefield in my favorite servers. And so I obviously wasn't coming in and being like, fuck you guys, fuck this place, this fucking server sucks. Because then it's like, then you can't hang out at the bar, dude. You're going to get bounced.
Yeah, my Battlefield Vietnam team, I was like the youngest person on it by like 6 years or something. So I tried to like, you know, I was really like, oh, sure, all these older boys are going to kick me out of this thing if I don't, I better not talk too much and all this stuff. Fucking madness.
Yeah. But
yeah, so like,
we'll see.
I hope it's a cool game. Also, you know, we'll wait and see, but I'm definitely cynical about this.
If you signed up for even if you didn't play the Battlefield Labs testing, if you signed up for it, you get early access. So the day that this goes up, if you signed up for Battlefield Labs, you'll be able to download the test on Thursday, awesome. August 7th. So I'll be playing a bunch of it this weekend, and I'll have to look into. I'm sure you can talk about it publicly. I'd be shocked if that's not the case, but I will bring back impressions of it, and I'll let you know.
Yeah, it's open, so
that's true. That's true.
Yeah. Yes, I'll be getting it when I'm at QuakeCon on Friday or Saturday or whatever.
Look, I have one very important question regarding Battlefield 6. What are the crossover properties going to be? They need to start thinking about this.
I will give them credit. They did say that there is not going to be like a, you know, Snoop Dogg skins or whatever.
Yeah.
If they yield in every way to Call of Duty except that one, I have to give credit where credit is due for the sticking their ground.
You know what they might do? They might skip the property and just go straight to, here's an actual war hero. We're just going to put him in the game.
Just
now you can play as
Vasily Zaitsev is in the game.
Yes.
Right, yeah. Is that the sniper who killed 700 people or whatever? The Russian guy or whatever. Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, exactly. Get him in there.
I don't know why that name is burned into my brain.
6. That's fair play.
Damn, that is his actual name. All right, cool.
It's like Jesse with the fucking tank game. What is it again?
I forget.
The tank
Planeten
game.
Verteidigungskanonen Kommandant?
Incredible.
No Germans correct me. I nailed it.
I love German. What a
Absolutely
beautiful
incredible.
language.
Love it. Love it. Language of love. That's why I call it that. Those are the games. Dead Take, Ninja Gaiden Ragebound. We saying Gaiden or Gaiden?
Gaiden.
It's Gaiden. Hi.
It's Gai. It's Gai.
Gaiden.
Gaiden.
Like guys.
They say it in The Wizard,
Like guys
the
rule.
classic film.
Not Gaiden.
No.
It's not a.
Gaiden.
Doesn't that sound cool though? It's like a den. It's like a gay bar. The Gay Den.
That
I call it the Gay Den.
That's a different game.
Ninja Gaiden.
They wouldn't sell that
would
one
be
in
a
America.
Great name for a gay bar.
Ninja Gay Den. You're right. Yeah. Just like said the same way. Yeah, written the same way. People are like, what? Dear Me I Was, Mashina and Heartworm. We got some emails here, Frank Howley.
Yeah,
going on, brother?
if people want to send us emails, write to us at podcast@noclip.video or in our Patreon Discord in the podcast chat channel. That's podcast@noclip.video. Luxury Malcolm wrote in and said, I've recently been searching for 5th and 6th generation console games I missed out on playing when I was younger. Currently, I'm playing Parasite Eve, and I'm absolutely loving it. Do you have any slightly obscure but highly recommended titles for these eras of gaming?
Killer 7. Play Killer 7.
Killer 7.
Played 100
That's a good
times.
shout. GameCube. That's 6th gen. Obscure ones. Devil Dice.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Get in there. Play some fucking Devil Dice in Cooler World.
Yeah, that's the good
That's
one.
a good time. Yeah. Jeremy, you got any?
Yeah, most of the ones that I really love are not super obscure. I've been playing Breath of Fire 3 before bed every night, and it's become a nice little ritual. I don't know if I'll finish it because that game is long as shit, but I've been enjoying that a lot. All of the Silent Hill games 1 through 4 are unmissable. If you've never played Final Fantasy 7, little obscure video game.
Who made that?
Whoa.
No,
Whoa.
what'd you say?
Who made that?
I don't know. Some indie.
Enix Soft. I
Some
believe.
indie.
Oh, right.
dev.
Something like that. Square Games or something?
Yeah, most of my recommendations are not obscure, but like there's some fucking heavy. Parasite Eve is great. If you just like everything SquareSoft did in that era is unmissable.
I thought Parasite Eve was called Parasite Eye for a long time because I think
Yeah.
of the way the logo was or something.
There's a long V.
I don't know. It's a long V. I think in my head it was anyway. It might not have actually been. Big fan of Hogs of War. If you like, that was the Rick Mail voiceovered. Rick Mail. If you're old and grew up in the British Isles, you might know who that person was. From the young ones, it was basically Worms 3D but with pigs, and it was World War II style themed. So hilarious. Lots of throwing grenades and having them physically roll down and stuff like that. Big fan of that. I don't know if these are like obscure, but like any of the like Psygnosis, like G Police and Colony Wars. Have you guys played those?
Nope.
Okay, those are, I guess maybe they are a bit obscure then.
You're in the European barrel now. That might be the other part of it is like if there's a part of the world
Yes.
that game was never popular.
That's fair. And then my last one would be the Die Hard trilogy game.
Oh yeah, that's a great
That's
one.
actually okay, right?
All three of them are solid games.
Really? All right.
There's all three movies have 3 different games. The first one is a like a isometric platformer where you go floor by floor in Nakatomi Tower.
Wow.
The second one is a light gun game. And the third one is the most insane. It's like Crazy Taxi first person, like Crazy Taxi. Well, it doesn't have to be first person. It's like Crazy Taxi where you are in a taxi with, it's that part where you're looking for bombs in Die Hard with a Vengeance. And you have to crash into the bombs. But it's like you're like in New York, basically in a grid trying to hit these bombs. It's like timer based. It's pretty tricky. It's the hardest of the 3. Wow. And the hilarious thing in that game is if you're in first person and you drive into the pedestrian, yeah, Frank's fucking nodding his head. He knows. When you drive on the path, it just straight up, there's blood all over the windshield and your windshield wipers wipe the blood away. It's so gory.
Oh,
That's like something
It's
that
like
a kid would tell me about at
crazy
school, and I'd be like, "That's not
Yeah.
real." I'd be like, "It is, dude. I swear."
what's the
Like
cheat code for that?
Carmageddon. Remember people were like, you can like, do it in Carmageddon. And like Carmageddon was like, you could do stuff. The Die Hard with a Vengeance first person driving people over thing is gratuitous. It's like ridiculous. I can't believe it got in that game, but yeah, that's a good game.
Another one is Chibi Robo for the GameCube. Love that game.
Oh yeah.
That's the thing with that era of games is like the passage of time has made even the most obscure things relatively well known. Like there's some
100%.
dog shit on the PS2, but we are not talking about any of those. Like we're still like Parasite Eve is obscure by like regular person standards, but that's like one of the games on that console, right? On the PS1, right? Yeah, PS1.
Yeah, or like I'd you know, if I was somebody who knew somebody who bought a GameCube back in the day and they'd played lots of the games, I go, have you played Beautiful Joe?
Right,
yet?
exactly.
Like,
have you played Eternal Darkness? And they're like, no shot, they played that. Yeah.
And they are Twin Snakes, like games that like people just didn't play because they were playing Mario Party or Mario Kart,
Like
you know,
Mario
Double
Sunshine.
Dash.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was, totally. Yeah, you're right. Like, it's weird that we talk about these games now. Like, I could say Vib Ribbon and people would know what it was, you know? It's like...
Airgees is another good one.
Airgees.
It's the Tekken Power Stone style, like Final Fantasy fighting game, but it also has like a weird mystery dungeon in it.
That was Square, right? Right. Yeah.
Persona 2 is actually sick. I really like Persona 2 a lot. I've not completed it, but I enjoy it a lot.
Ooh, Shadowheart.
Oh yeah.
Not Shadowheart's like the original. Shadowheart's from the New World. The like spin-off third game or something. I think it's the third one.
Yeah.
Because the second one was Covenant. It was a weird game. It opens, you're like in 1950s America, and there's like some slow jams, some big band music going on in the background, and then it turns into regular Shadowhearts.
Space Station Silicon Valley for the N64, great game.
Oh, yeah.
Early DMA, pre Rockstar. Love that game.
I'm trying to think of Dreamcast ones that are obscure.
Phantasy Star Online.
so.
I don't know how
PSO.
that would play now. You could probably emulate a server or something, but
I think Gersman loves it, so I think he found a bunch of servers that you can connect to. I'm not sure if the first PSO, I think maybe PSO 2. Yeah. Ikaruga, maybe.
Billy
I think that
Hatcher.
was first done.
Any Billy Hatcher fans out there?
Billy Hatcher. That's
Classic.
a goodie.
Yeah, we gave him enough.
Yeah.
I will say, aggressive inline PS2 GameCube era is like that never gets enough credit. Like I really like aggressive inline, and like there's not even retro achievements for it. Like
Oh, cool.
yeah,
Wow.
yeah. I
You
think
can make
like,
them. You could do it, Frank. You could become
Right.
the retro achievement producer.
And then for PS1, like if you haven't played Incredible Crisis, is a game you can beat in one sitting. It's hard to beat. There's a math section. We have to do like groceries. It's like it's annoying.
What?
But, yeah.
Oh, it's that crazy one.
Oh, yeah, this one.
Yeah, you just play like every family member does stuff. But there's one part where like the mom is doing grocery shopping. And you have to you have a certain amount of budget to buy these groceries. It's like such a stupid section. Everything else is great though. But yeah, that's a quick one.
The
Excellent.
Warriors game on PS2 is also very, very fun.
Actually a good
Another
video
Rockstar
game.
Another
game.
Rockstar game. The Rockstar were
Someone should
fucking
do a documentary about
churning
that.
out the hits at that time. I like that game a lot. Also, Freedom Fighters. It's Guerrilla, I think, isn't it?
No, it was you're talking about the isometric
It's
one?
IO, isn't it?
Yeah.
No. Freedom Fighters. Sorry, Freedom Fighter. I was thinking of Freedom Force.
Freedom Fighter,
Sorry,
IO
right.
Interactive.
Oh, yeah.
which was a Ken Levine one.
It's
I think.
IO.
Yep.
Sorry,
Freedom Fighters is a like Cold War throwback of the Russians invade. I think it's like the Soviet Union never fell and they invade New York, and you're like a fucking plumber in Brooklyn, and you got to start like a guerrilla cell resistance movement against the cartoon like mustache twirling like we are so evil and Russian.
Love it. It's good stuff.
And then Christian wrote in asking, a recent question about games that give you whiplash made me think, has there ever been a game that is almost universally praised and after you played it, you really disliked it or never clicked with you?
So many.
Yeah, I would say I don't dislike the Diablo franchise at all. I'm like sad that they don't click with me.
Have you played Diablo 2? Because it's the only one that I think is
I've tried
The best one.
each one of them.
Just making sure.
And I don't know what it is, like the camera angle or something. Like I wish I was in there a bit more. I don't know. Yeah,
That's fair. Yeah. I mean, I Diablo 2 is like one of my favorite games of all time. And
It's
You ever
brilliant,
have that-
right? They're all brilliant games.
do you ever have you ever showed someone like a piece of media and you're like, oh my God, like even like a YouTube video, you're like, it's the best. You gotta watch this. And then
Oh,
you
yeah.
sit down and suddenly you're seeing it through their eyes and you're like,
Oh,
oh
yeah.
God, maybe this isn't as good as I thought.
I will forever look. Matt Berry now is an accepted comedian, but I will forever be haunted by the time I made Timur Hussein come over, like maybe the fifth time we'd ever hung out, watch Snuffbox, like the weirdest Matt Berry show, like weirder than Toast of London or fucking Dark Place. And he was being very cordial about this awful shit that I was making him watch.
I had that
I
experience
fucking
with
love that show.
also Matt Berry, season 1, The Mighty Boosh. I made a friend watch it in high school,
yeah.
and they were like,
Oh,
what
God.
the fuck is this?
That's a real, if this doesn't click, I'm never seeing this person again show.
Yeah.
Boosh is such a good show.
It's
Love it.
fantastic. Game that is universally praised that I hate is God of War 2018. I hate the God of War reboots. I think that they do this thing called there's entire like GDC talks about it where they do like a suck to target thing because they're like, oh, we don't want the player to experience friction. If you're facing this way, the target's over here. The game like sucks you to target. It plays the game for you. I think it is a crime against God, and I think that it is a fake video game. And I fucking think it sucks. I hate it so much. I hate that game.
All right, well, it makes me cry. So
That's fine. And
I'm kidding.
No, well, I don't like the story either, so that's fine. But I will say this about God of War 2018. I thought Ragnarok was way worse.
Wow. Okay.
Damn.
What else we got? Frank, you got any?
I'm like generally kind of cold on a lot of Nintendo stuff, which is why like DK Bonanza sticking with me is so remarkable. I think the biggest thing is like I spent my first decade was just not all Nintendo, like Super Nintendo N64, and then once I got like PS2, Xbox, it was like fuck, I don't care about Nintendo. And then like I don't know why, but I'll still dive in. But like it took me a decade to beat Breath of the Wild, like, and even like Tears of the Kingdom I just never went back to. Like there's some Zelda games I really like, but like. Yeah, it's just I don't know what it is about Nintendo. I think just like in my head I was like brainwashed by the console war. It was like, oh, Nintendo's for babies. I'm not playing this, but I'll bring my Switch 2 with me on my Japan trip, and I will finish playing Smash Brothers Wii or whatever the hell. I'm so behind on my Nintendo stuff, but I'm generally happy with the Switch 2. So
You're gonna be pissed when you find out the Switch 2 doesn't have a Wii disc drive on it.
yeah. Smash Ultimate, whatever.
Yeah.
But
Have any of you guys done the GameCube thing on Switch 2? I haven't paid for the online thing, so I don't have access to any of that shit.
Nah, I don't care.
No.
What is it?
I
What's
don't know
the
what
point?
games are on there.
If you're gonna emulate GameCube games, you can do that on like your phone now. Like,
Don't say that.
whatever.
They're
I mean,
gonna
not
fucking
legally.
come through your window with a machine gun.
so
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Soul Calibur 2 is on there, which has a really good like they call it weapons
yeah.
mode, but it's an in-game career mode. That's pretty deep. I figure what else is on
10
there.
out of 10 on GameSpot. Soul Calibur. It's one of the ones.
Is Sunshine on the GameCube emulator thing?
I think it's coming later. I don't think it's there yet.
Yeah, it's not there now. I don't
That'd be a
think.
bigger deal. You know what
Yeah.
I don't like that a lot of people like? All of the games like Repo and Cruelty Squad. Not Cruelty Squad. No, what am I
Right.
thinking of? What am I thinking of? Oh my God. Lethal
Phasmophobia?
Company. Phasmophobia.
Oh, yeah.
All of those like co-op,
Co-op-y.
do
okay.
like a little task and go back to a little ship and then get the resource. I can't. Every time my friends are like, dude, this is going to be so much fun. We do it for 3 hours and I'm not enjoying a single second of it. I tell them after, I'm like, I'm refunding this game. I hate this. This is
Does
awful.
it just feel like work or something?
It feels like work, and like Repo especially, I can get the appeal of it, but like to me, it's just clip fodder, you know?
Yeah.
If we're going to have our talking shit hour over here, all right? I hate that those games just feel like my friends want to be streamers a little bit,
Yeah,
you know?
Right.
yeah.
Like hanging out with their buddies. Look, you have fun however you want to have fun, but every time I'm like, I wish we were just like pushing a bag of rocks down the street. Like that would be equally as challenging, and we could have a fun time with that. At least the rocks might hit something interesting. Like, what if you get jump scared? The little puppet does like it's cute it's cute exactly one time, and then you got to do it for 4 more hours. I can't. And they just keep making more of them. Like Peak, at least Peak is climbing. At least that's a little bit different. Like it's a little bit different than walking around a tight corridor room and then collecting some resources and going back to the thing. You know, it's a novel in that regard, but I can't get into these games. I can't do it. I wish I could, because everyone else is having fun except for me.
I feel the same way. I think that the bar of entry is so low because they're all so affordable that it is like it's cheaper than like a movie ticket for a lot of these games. So it's like a single serving. What am I doing with my friends this evening? And it's kind of just like I don't know. I think that like the novelty of hopping into a weird game one time for a couple hours with your friends is such that I think people excuse the sort of very, like the lack of game design in a lot of these games, or the very sort of like light touch game design. I think games can be just like cool hangout spaces, but I agree with you. A lot
absolutely.
of these games do not resonate with me as games. They are just like I'd rather just be like on a Discord call with my friends.
Yeah. Go watch a movie. Talk about it.
True.
We got one more email.
Yeah, and then Zach wrote in and asked, games that trick players into experiencing thoughtful art. On the July 18th episode, you were mentioning there should be games that would suck people in, like a Call of Duty or God of War, Gears of War. But then we would be informative or deep or expose them to some new and interesting ideas. I think Spec Ops The Line is the game I played the most that fits that idea.
Yeah, Spec Ops does a good bait and switch. Like, I think if you did that in 2025, people would say it's rote. But I think it especially worked because of the era it came out in. Like there was a lot of, a glut of sort of military third person cover based military shooter style things. And it had this one, Spec Ops was in an interesting setting. It was sort of ridiculous. It was like Dubai had a sandstorm and now everyone's turned into fucking, it's like the post-apocalypse. But it has a Heart of Darkness sort of style turn at the end. It's basically they just did Heart of Darkness, right, in a different setting. And it was good. And it had there's one scene in it where you are an active participant in something that is that then the game sort of puts the mirror up at you. And I think because it's a game, I think that was more powerful as a result. And it did a good job of that. Yeah,
It was like the Bioshocky moment. Spoilers for Bioshock. Of like,
I think, it was more earned than
yeah,
Bioshock
absolutely.
one,
But it's
so.
still like making the player think about their own agency and the sequence of events that they've caused. And at that time, it was like, what do you mean? I just press buttons and things die. That's not. I'm not killing them. They're dying in the game. It's different. So it was definitely interesting that they made something that successfully did that, and people liked.
I'm trying to think about games that do it that like where you don't realize, because like there's games like This War of Mine or like Cart Life, which like
you're not firing up This War of Mine and being like, I wonder what this is about.
and then and the whole point of that game is that like it's not a matter of do you win really, it's a matter of when you die. Like that's the hard part about that, and it's trying to talk to you about the siege of Sarajevo and sort of the hopelessness and whatnot. But yeah, games that do it that don't necessarily show their hand.
It's a hard thing to pitch because you got to do it at like a meta level, right? Like if you tell a publisher, give me $20 million, I'm going to make a game that looks like Call of Duty, and then actually it's going to make people cry about losing their son. That's harder to pull off. It's got to be some indie. Maybe some weird indie stuff that does
Undertale does this a little bit. It depends on how you play it.
Yeah.
I don't want to spoil Undertale, but Undertale has the capacity to do this to you.
The darkness, because you can watch To Kill a Mockingbird.
I've been editing darkness footage this week.
There you go. Did you watch To Kill a Mockingbird?
I'll keep that up. We'll keep that offline. I'll tell you about that. I did watch it. I like To Kill a Mockingbird quite a lot. What else? If anyone knows, send us an email or put it in the comments. Like I feel like there's ones out there that are doing this little bit of bait and switch.
This is kind of different, but Metal Gear Solid 2 for me was it's not like integrated into the mechanics where it's like, oh no, you've been like, the people you're killing are actually like refugees or something. It's not like that. It's just like a game that you're like, oh cool, like a blockbuster action game. And then it's like, did you ever think about how language is limiting us all from speaking the truth? And you're like, Jesus fucking Christ, no.
Lolly lule lo.
Yeah.
What was the Haze? Remember Haze?
Oh yeah.
Where you were like, Hayes did one where it was like, again, we're drifting from the actual question posited, which is about like sort of teaching something without people realizing. And I'm just going towards Hayes because it's kind of in a Spec Ops vein of like, in Hayes, you're like, you realize you're on the bad side, like through a couple of missions into the game, and that they were like, the like medical thing that you use to like get better is making you see the other people as combatants. And if you stop taking it, then you realize that you're on the bad side, basically. And then you swap allegiances, which was quite, one man's terrorist, another man's freedom fighter, in case you haven't heard that one before. Yeah. Frank, you got any come to mind?
No, I mean, Metal Gear 2 was kind of the one I was thinking of. But
Man, oh man. Good stuff.
Let us know
Good
in the
video
comments.
games.
Oh, Braid.
Those are the emails.
Braid, sorry. Braid is an
Braid.
obvious answer, but Braid.
Yeah, good point.
Why is Braid?
Because you think it's just a puzzle platformer, but actually, it's a
about a guy.
commentary on whatever you want.
About vaccines or not
It's
real.
about vaccine. It's about nuclear bombs.
No.
It's about breaking up your
I don't want
girlfriend.
to spoil Braid.
To that-
but, yeah.
To that point, you should keep playing The Witness. We talked about this already.
I don't. Here's the thing. You might need to spoil whatever you're talking about because I don't know what you're talking about, and like I might have seen it already.
We'll talk about it offline.
Okay, sure.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah. Let's take this conversation offline.
All right.
Step into my office for a minute.
Let's take this podcast offline.
I don't like. Don't say it with that whispery voice. I can't handle that.
We'll talk about it later.
All right. Okay.
Don't worry about it.
Okay.
All right. The games we're talking about this week were Dead Take, Ninja Gaiden, Ragebound, Gaiden, Mashina, Heartworm, Battlefield 6, Dear Me, I Was, and a bunch of other slime. We're working on some nonsense. If you want to head over to, youtube.com/@noclip2 or patreon.com/noclip2, you might start to see some stuff you're not meant to see yet, or some stuff you are. I don't know. We're updating things at the moment. We've got some very exciting announcements about that to make very, 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 very soon. I will be out of town for the rest of this week at Quake Convention. If you are at QuakeCon in beautiful Dallas, Texas, head over to the BYOC area. Myself and my mates will be sitting at, we are section C, seats 19 to 23. We'll be there at the BYOC from Friday. I'm also doing a stage presentation for a short amount of time there, but I can't talk about it yet. But keep your ears nice. Actually, by the time this has gone up, we should have a video over on the second channel, and also I will have tweeted what that thing is. But yeah, we have some. I just for fucking God knows what reason, I do not want to say it publicly on this thing, but we'll talk about it later. We'll talk about all that stuff as well. Frank has some shit you want. You can speak about it a little bit as well next week. I think that's a podcast, folks. Thank you very much for listening and supporting our work. Patreon show will be up next week after QuakeCon. I'm going to record that. There's loads of updates going on, of course. We're still working away on our doc we shot. Did I announce what that was publicly yet? I forget.
I don't know.
I can't remember. Shrug. All right. Well, The Darkness is in it, so, and a bunch of Nazi killing games, so you can figure out what studio that is. We're going to have that. Oh no, I tweeted about it. Yeah, I put a post up on Patreon.
Right,
of course.
did.
Yeah.
People were talking
so
about it.
we're doing machine games, and if we haven't said it already, we've filmed a bunch of documentaries in Uppsala, Sweden, and we're gonna have 3 videos. One is about the prehistory of machine games, sort of all the Starbreeze stuff. Second one is focused on Wolfenstein, and the third one is a proper no-clip doc about Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, which will be coming out the next few weeks. The first one will be up in about 2 weeks' time, third one about 3 weeks' time, and then a week after that, I think, first week of September, I think we're going to have the third one. We just have to wait for that DLC to come out because we asked them a bunch about the DLC thing. So it'd be weird if we had a bunch of that stuff in a game that's not even out yet. Okay, and that's it. That's a podcast. Thanks very much, everyone, for listening to our podcast, and we'll see you next time on the podcast. Bye.